All right, welcome back. We are live for this live Total OS today for July 3rd, 2018. Happy July 3rd and happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Be careful out there for this week. So my neighbors across the street are having a nice big blowout party, but it's still somewhat uncomfortable outside and humid. So I'm inside where it's nice and cool. So tonight we'll talk about the top 10 Linux apps for 2018, at least for me, that I use to make all of this possible. So we'll get started here in about 5 minutes or so. We'll wait till some other people jump in the chat to say hello. So don't be shy. If you are a newbie to all this, if you are a beginner and have no clue, perfect. Because half the time I don't have any freaking clue. No, I'm just kidding. Do stop by and say hello. Don't be shy. Checking my phone for messages as usual. Alright, looks good. Yeah, we've had a pretty nasty heat wave here this week. It's been in the 90s. Heat index with the humidity around 100 or more. But given a choice between hot and cold, I will take the heat. Because at least when it's hot, I can go swimming, go walking, play tennis. Stuff like that. It's much more enjoyable than freezing cold. Francisco Santos, welcome. How are you? So right now it's currently 84 degrees. Let's see what the weather forecast is. Lower 70s. Okay. And tomorrow 90s. Yeah, it's going to be a warm week. I'll take it. Steve Wheeler. It's only 105 in Phoenix. Yeah, man, but it's a dry heat, as they say. That's hot. Even dry heat, it's freaking hot, Steve, yeah. Drink lots of fluids, right? Absolutely. Montreal 84. It is 84 right now in Ohio, so it's the same. Yeah, I spent a few hours today with a friend of mine catching up. She just got back from Austria. Or should I say, like Schwarzenegger says it, Austria. Ugh. Anyway. So we went out to Dairy Queen and had well, she got a banana split. I got a nice blizzard. Strawberry cheesecake blizzard. It's making me hungry. Francisco says 70. Nice. Steve Wheeler, 114 on Friday. It'd be a shame to waste all that heat. Why don't you crack a couple eggs and fry them on the hood of the car, man? Yeah. Be done in 2 minutes. Palo Alto. I've been to California several times. I will say the most comfortable weather. San Diego. Monterey, Carmel. San Francisco when it's not windy. I've not been to Palo Alto. But they say San Diego averages about 75 degrees all year. That's pretty nice. Yeah. I'll take it. '84, Daniel, very good. Monterey is beautiful, Francisco, yes. Was there back in '03, my first time. Wow. It was stunning. It was really, really, really nice, yeah. Yeah. So tonight we'll discuss my top 10 Linux apps. Of course, not a complete list. Yours will vary, but it's the apps I generally use to make all of this video magic possible, as it were. So, thought I would share with you my top 10 apps. Hello, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88. I'm doing fine, thank you. Yeah. Drank lots of fluids today. I had Gatorade, water, raspberry tea, water, Pepsi, half a can of Pepsi. Try not to drink too much sugar. Anyway, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling. I guess I'm feeling hydrated. Imagine that. Linux Mint 19. Yeah, it's good. You're having a Brio. Have I done any cyberbullying research? I have in the past. It's it's bad, Daniel. It's too easy to become a victim of cyberbullying. Obviously, because of the web. Um, I don't know if I'll, for Friday night's social media cyberbullying, I don't know if I want to get into hard statistics, numbers. I don't know if that's going to help. I'd rather just get to my personal experiences, what I went through, what maybe you people are going through, possible solutions, a cure. Yeah, so I may not plug in any numbers because numbers tend to be cold, hard, cold facts, as it were. So we'll see. Francisco, don't drink Gatorade. I like Gatorade. Yeah, I don't drink energy drinks in general, no, but I love Gatorade. I bought the Frost flavor. Yeah, Frost. But yeah, I thought Gatorade was okay, man. Oh. So, but yeah, that's the cyberbullying special webcast is for this Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was by request, I believe, from a teenager up in Canada. Hopefully, he'll be able to join in and, say hello. I won't mention his name yet, just to make sure. But yeah, it's by request. So if you guys would like to sponsor that live event, check out the links below. There's a PayPal link. Thank you for all of your contributions to this channel, by the way. It's greatly appreciated. Daniel, you're my age, so you know how it was back then. Yeah, back then, the most advanced computer we had was a pinball machine, if you know what I mean. John Petrie, you made your own Gatorade. Interesting. How did it taste? I have no patience for that. I'd rather just go out there and buy it, So, all right, it is 9:33. Looks like there's people still joining in. Let me wait a few more minutes, and then we'll get started on my top 10 list for Linux, top 10 Linux apps for 2018, and we'll go from there. Probably will not be a long one for this evening. It's a holiday. Well, it's a pre-holiday evening. People probably have plans. And that's okay. I'm not sure if I'll be on tomorrow night. If I do jump on tomorrow night, it will be this time or later. So we'll go from there. I don't think I will be on Thursday night, as far as I know. I do not use Redshift, John. Yep. Don't think there was much support for bullying in the 1970s. Analog IDC says that's probably true. Yeah, probably true. Hello, Heather. How are you? Yeah, it was a whole different ballgame back then. It wasn't fun then. It's probably worse now. It's too easy to. Well, we'll talk about Friday night. So, but with all that's been going on in the world, the hatred and incivility, I see only one solution. And it probably will not surprise you, but we'll talk about that Friday night. So, it looks like we still have people coming in. So, again, tonight's topic: my top 10 Linux apps list for 2018. Asteroids was the computer of choice back then. It was Pong. Doot, doot, doot. Right? Doot. At least I think so. But I remember Asteroids, yeah. Missile Command, all that good stuff. It was a simpler time. Watch nightly news here. See what's going on. The usual boring stuff. Anthony Tucker. Hello, Anthony. How are you? Welcome. You know, one of these nights, weekends, maybe I'll do a private webcast for all the Patreon supporters, all 5 of you. Hey, it's a start. So yeah, somebody mentioned that as a reward, as a thank you. Maybe like one a week or one every couple of weeks, do something private. You know, I don't want to make it a paywall, but just as a thank you, you know. Yeah, we had the 5 fingers for a computer. Yes. 2 plus 3 equals 5. That was the calculator. Of course, back in Brooklyn, we often use the 1 finger. If you know what I mean. Well, maybe not often. You played those games, had a TV and game system in the room back then. All right, cool, Heather, yeah. I remember the Atari. My first Atari. Was pretty cool with those cartridges. Back then it was the game system. Ooh, you know, back in like 79? Something like that. Anyway. Liberty Mutual, accident forgiveness. Commercial. Do they really forgive? Or do they stick it to you later? I don't know. Alright, I think we can get started. Let me get my apps here lined up. 1 finger is algebra, yeah. Exactly. Okay, looks like we're good here. Looking at the ticker news feed. Sony tries to upload movie trailer to YouTube, posts entire movie instead. Oops. Let's get started here. Let's go ahead and screen share. You guys can see what I'm doing. Poor Sony. All right. I think you guys should be able to see this, and let's get started. All right. These are in no particular order, by the way. Just want to let you guys know. Again, it's 10 apps that I normally use. Obviously, your mileage will vary. You can pick and choose whatever you want in Linux, obviously. Let's get started. Synaptic Package Manager. Of course, Debian based and Debian systems and Ubuntu based. You know, a lot of distros today, if it's you know, Ubuntu based, they come with nice looking, snazzy looking software package manager apps, and that's fine. They're getting better. You know, they're in categories, and you know, it's great for newbies. But I always come back to the Synaptic Package Manager to install, remove, upgrade, and so on. There's just something about this, and this has been out, I think, since 2001, if I am not mistaken. So, yeah, I keep going back to this to install or delete my Ubuntu Mate. And I have a feeling a lot of people do also. Again, not necessarily right away for newbies, but it is not that difficult to learn. So, first on my list, in no particular order, I would say the Synaptic Package Manager. Media Player, this was kind of a tie. Of course, VLC, what can I say? It's one of the best, if not the best, for both Linux and Windows. It plays just about everything you can throw at it. DVDs, audio, and so on and so forth. Even says here, plays everything. Check it out. It's for Mac also, and Android. It's probably the media player for the world. A close tie to this would be probably SM Player. I use this primarily in Linux. I use two media players. If for some reason VLC is not quite running the way it should, I'll go to this, but they're both very close. If you haven't already, take a look at SM Player. It looks totally different. You may like the looks of this better, possibly, but I use either VLC or SM Player. I don't use anything else for media players. For music, I generally use Rhythmbox, and of course SM Player and VLC can play music files too, of course. Alright, sometimes I'll do editing, heavy editing. What do I use? I use Kdenlive. I have yet to find anything better in Linux, about as stable as they come. You can also download this for Windows if you didn't know that. It's a great video editor. It's not that difficult to learn. Fully featured. Crashes sometimes, not as bad as the other ones. If for some reason this doesn't work, I will use something called Shotcut, also for both Linux and Windows. So if not this, check out Shotcut. But for video editing, this is fairly easy for me, if not really easy. Again, it's editing can be extremely time consuming, sometimes hours. Kdenlive makes that chore more more pleasurable and not as difficult. So I vote for Kdenlive. When I am not using Google Hangouts, my top app would be Open Broadcaster. Again, also for Windows. This one takes some getting used to if you are new to this. Great for live streaming, great for recording your screen session. It's been out for a while. It appears to be almost, if not completely stable for both Linux and Windows. Full featured, one of the best, if not the best, screencaster. Again, when I am not using Google Hangouts, and I believe that Google Hangouts is simpler for newbies. But if you once you get more used to, transitions and stuff like that, check out OBS. When I'm not using OBS to record, I use Simple Screen Recorder. I think this is not for Windows, but this is simpler. It just works like 100% of the time. Very few times lately, if anywhere, has not worked. Simple Screen Recorder, and just as the name sounds, it is a simple recorder for your Linux desktop. Ticker. This feed at the top to catch the latest news. TICKR, an open source RSS news feeder, ticker for Linux. It's also for Windows too. Simple, great to use, always seems to work. You can customize this, make it scroll at the top, bottom, fast, slow. These are some of the options here. Set scrolling speed, choose behavior when mousing over. Anyway, TICKR, a great app for catching the latest news. A media transcoder called Curlew. When I am, once I'm done with the live events, many times I'll transcode the video into an audio MP3 file, upload it to the Patreon Toss Today page. That's TOSTODAY. And for the patrons, as a thank you, a lot of you don't have time to watch the 1 or 2 hour shows or more. One time it was 6 hours. Phew! I will transcode those videos into audio so you can catch it as a podcast, in the car, jogging, walking, or whatever. A lot of you seem to appreciate it. It's a little bit extra work, but not too bad. Curlew does a great job, works every time transcoding from video to audio. So if you need to transcode video to audio, check out Curlew. There are some other apps out there, including Selene, or Selene, SELENE, and some others, of course. This is simple. I think it's for newbies. Simple GUI here. There's some screenshots. Not that difficult to learn. Check out Curlew. Email client, Thunderbird. I use this in both Linux and Windows. This is the exclusive app I use for PayPal. when you make a contribution, Thunderbird tells me, and I reply to you as a thank you exclusively with Thunderbird because it just works. It just works. It's simple, it's easy, great looking GUI. I use this 100% of the time for anything related to PayPal. The email goes to my Total OS today at gmx.com, and then Thunderbird syncs with that and I get the notification. So it's been around a while, it's easy. I use Thunderbird. Well, a webcam app you may have heard of is GovCView, G-U-V-C View. Seems to work 100% of the time without any issues. When I'm not using Google Hangouts, this is what I use, GovVC View. And finally, some of you know that I like to internet browser hop, as it were, but I always keep coming back to Chrome when there is a problem. It just works. It just works. I have to give honorable mention to Opera, which uses the Chrome browser WebKit. Yeah, whenever in Firefox, once again, is starting to feel heavy. I don't know what's going on, but it feels bloated again. So I keep going back either to Opera, Chrome, sometimes Chromium. But for email, for web browsing, rather, it's just hard to beat Chrome. It just works fast, stable. You can go in the settings, change things if you wish, pleasing on the eyes, and yeah, I always internet browser hop back to Chrome or Chrome based, such as Opera. And that's it. That's my top 10 look at the apps that I use to make all of this possible. Nothing quite like the bird. Isn't that the truth? Hello, Ben. How are you? Yeah, Thunderbird just works. It just flat out works. So, any of you guys use any of these top 10 apps that I mentioned? Francisco, Google Chrome is the best. Looking at the ticker feed here, it says really dumb malware targets cryptocurrency fans using Macs. Okay. Ben, you're buying PC parts for birthday present. Okay, all right. Daniel says most of them. Smart man, Daniel. Very good. Chrome, okay. Heather likes Chrome. Yep, it just works. I've tried Firefox, Pale Moon Browser, Vivaldi, and others. I mean, they're okay, but there's just something about Chrome or Chrome-based. Something about it. Deal Master, 4th of July sales on various gadgets. Yeah, check out the affiliate Amazon link below in the show notes if you're doing any shopping and would like to help out the channel. I did window shopping this past week. Looked at a nice chair at Office Max for almost $500. Couldn't buy it, but man, it had like memory foam. It was really, really nice. I think the first chair I ever sat in with memory foam. It felt different. There is some Elementary OS Juno beta news is now available to download. Well, I'll have to check it out, won't we? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Okay, there we go. Based on 18.04. Very good. Interesting. But not tonight. WaterFox. Yeah. That's good too. I have tested that. Tested Brave. But there's just something about Chrome. Wow. Suzy Linux sold in $2.5 billion deal. Jeez. Has been sold to a Swedish private equity firm. Wow. Interesting. Was it worth it? I don't know. Suzy or Seuss Linux. I call it Suzy. Seuss. I think it's Seuss. Yeah. Huh. And Google is now a platinum member of the Linux Foundation. Yes, they are. Well, good for them. Considering what they're worth, they can probably donate a little bit more than 500K. Come on, Google. Don't be stingy. Do the right thing. So did you guys make any plans for the 4th of July or just going to chill? I will probably sleep in the morning a little bit and then go from there. Daniel's gonna chill. Well, good for you. Yeah, I will definitely chill in the morning. Omega Beast 10, welcome. How to stay anonymous online. Oh, good luck. That's all that I can say. Speaking of the SM player on my list, yeah, it's the latest one has been released. Check it out. Hello, Joe. Welcome. You know, sitting in that Dairy Queen today was nice and cool, and having a blizzard was nice. Love blizzards. Not weather blizzards. Blizzards. Dairy Queen blizzards. Anyway, Omega Beast, you use uBlock Origin. Dynamic filtering. Okay, very good. Yeah, it is a little warm, Joe. It is. It is. If you have health issues, it's best to stay inside. I would have to agree. It's going to be warm tomorrow. I drink lots of fluids. That's probably the best way to combat it, and stay out of the sun as much as possible. A little bit of sun is okay, but yeah. Heather likes G Radio. I use, hello Mugen. I use, what do I use? I don't use G Radio, do I? I use, what do I use? I forget now. Now you got me thinking. So let me go to sound and video. Yes, Radio Tray Lite. That's what I use. Duh. Yeah. That's what I use. Radio Tray. Spotify. Snap. But I like Radio Tray. There it is. Listen to smooth jazz, modern, classical, soundtracks. Cool. Yeah, Radio Tray works pretty good for me. Hello, Steve Winkler. Welcome. Daniel says you don't have to leave the yard to see the fireworks. Nice. You have a few lakes around here that put on a great show. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, Joe, definitely be careful in this heat. Absolutely. Yeah, I caught a little bit of the weather news. It's with the heat index, humidity, it's like 100. So, but hey, it's summer. It's summer, so I guess it's normal. I can hear the fireworks even from downstairs in my on my sitting in my chair. Oh well. I don't get excited anymore. You know, my son's a teenager. He's at a friend's house. at a party. I call, I called him yesterday. I'm like, you want to do something tonight? No, Dad, I got plans. Sorry, how about the next day? Fine. Kids, you buy them a car? It's like, yeah, I think I have a son somewhere. DT is in the house. Greetings, greetings. So, let me stop sharing. You can see my mug again. All right, there we go. So, anyway, that was my top 10 Linux apps list that I use for 2018. If you missed any of this, of course, you can replay it. And again, I will use Curlew, one of my favorite apps, to transcode this into an MP3 file for all the Patreon supporters. Again, second story. Back porch, you can see the arch, and the fireworks. Nice. Top Linux apps was Axe. Yeah, we got Axe. No, VM on the list. It was not. No, because I don't distro hop as much as I used to, if any, DT. So it was not on my list. No. DT, do you want to jump on for a wee bit? I'll send you a link. But no, VM. There's nothing wrong with VM. I just don't use it as much as I used to. Yeah, it's either a full test or I boot off a USB stick. I should have put UNet booting on that list too. But, I had to narrow it down to 10. Let me go here. Alright, DT, give me 1 second. And there you go. Alright. Mugen, you're not a city boy. I was born in Brooklyn. Lived there for 14 years. And, yeah. Saw the good side and the bad side. Saw the streets, saw the family side, saw the Catholic Church side, saw a lot. Saw bullying, not cyberbullying, but anyway. I'd have to say my favorite city. It's not New York, even though I was born there. I don't know. If I had to pick a favorite city, I guess Orlando. Maybe, I don't know. Daniel is a country boy. Yeah, I have no problem with the country. I've never gone camping in the country. This seems so peaceful and relaxing. I often crack a joke. New York, I didn't cut grass. I was cutting corners. Planet Brooklyn. I didn't call it Planet Brooklyn back then, no. But it was a different time back then, absolutely. I don't know what happened to my friends. Yeah. Back then, after graduating, the 8th grade, I don't know what became of them. I don't know. Dresden as your favorite city? Okay. I've seen Vancouver, British Columbia. Columbia is very nice. Very, very nice. Super clean. Man. Maybe one of these days. But yeah, Vancouver looks nice. One of my cousins went there once. Spotless. Yeah. We'll wait for a DT to jump on. We can chat for a little bit. It's funny, my phone says 89 degrees, but the Linux app says 84. I don't know which is which. It's still warm. I got a little fan here keeping me cool. I don't know if I can bring this up. This is like a fan that doubles as a heater. I just put it in fan mode. Now you can hear it now, probably, but when I have it down here on the tip, you can't really hear it. But it has just a little bit of a chill, I think, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks on Amazon. Now this one, when I bought it, it doesn't have a safety tip-over switch, so be careful if you get something like this without a tip-over switch. Normally there's a switch here. If it tips, it'll stop, and this one, after I got it, so I probably can't recommend this exact one, but it's a great little fan and heater. Peaceful in the country, yes. You've been in the Lincoln Tunnel. Nice. Joe says, I wonder what happened to all your friends from Automotive HS. I did come across one of them that works at the Intrepid. Ah. Kyrie, you have that fun heater? It wasn't that expensive. I think Amazon has something like that. Is it $10? Like between 10 and 20 bucks? It's just a little space heater. It's not designed for a room, like a bedroom, or if I'm watching TV at night in the wintertime, I'll have that. Hello, Anselm. Welcome. Hi, DT.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good. Very good. What's new?
Nah, not much. Just the end of another day. So,
I hear you. So what are your big plans for the 4th? Any Southern hospitality celebrations?
oh yeah, my family would get together. I'm sure we're gonna light
Nice.
the grill.
Nice. Nice.
Probably do some steaks, ribs, that sort of thing. It's
Nice.
usually what we do when we get together for these kind of family events.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son wants to do something tomorrow, so I'm not sure what we're going to do. My mom wanted to go shopping, so I'll take her shopping. Other than that, just going to chill.
Yeah, I won't do any like of the public stuff. I'm not going to any clubs. I'm not going to any public fireworks shows. I'm just gonna stay home. It's a day off for me. I just want to relax.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I might head out to the local Applebee's here, have a drink,
hmm
or something like that. It's not that, but it's like a couple miles from my house, so I don't mind. I wouldn't go anywhere far because of the potential for drunk drivers and stuff like that. It can be
Yeah.
potentially dangerous,
hmm
but a couple miles locally, yeah, that's not that big of a concern for me. So, but no, I didn't have the top 10 apps for me. I mean, VM is fine, but that was not on my list. I had like Synaptic Package Manager for Ubuntu
Oh,
based,
yeah, that's a great one actually.
Kden Live, VLC, OBS, Ticker, Thunderbird, Chrome. I do internet browser hop, but I keep coming back to Chrome or Chrome-based like Opera. Okay, like as far as web browsers, what do you keep going back to? Now, be honest.
I stick to Firefox because I've been using it
Okay.
forever. I mean, going back to the old Netscape days and then
Yeah.
starting with the very first Firefox, I've just used it in Windows, used it in Linux.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just stick with it.
I don't use it as much because it seems like it's gotten slow again.
hmm
I don't know what's up. It seems like it just bogged down, and I'm waiting for something to load in Chrome or Opera. Just bam, it's there. Firefox, there's a lag.
hmm
Maybe in the settings. It could be an app or like an extension. It's possible, but
Yeah,
Chrome, man,
I'm not an extension person. I don't play around with any kind of plugins or extensions in any browser. I know some
okay,
people that's a main feature. That's what they
yeah,
look
yeah,
for. I just use it to browse the web. I
right,
don't really add anything extra to it.
okay. Well, for some reason, Firefox with I know I don't use a lot of extensions. One of my favorite extensions is the Reader app to cut down all the clutter.
hmm
I think it's a must-have, but I don't know. Firefox, it just seems like it's gone slow again. I don't know what happened, man. So I go back to Opera, Chrome, or Chromium. Anyway, Daniel Kovac says Green Acres is the place for me. Farm living is life for me. Yeah.
Uh,
Hello, CFWW. Mark says, what in the world is going on? We're talking country stuff, me and DT,
yeah.
because he's from the south, I'm from the north,
Yeah, Mark he's a country boy too.
Oh, okay.
Is it Mark Yates you're talking about in the chat?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Mark
yeah.
Yates. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
He's a Southern gentleman.
Okay, we're back. Wait for DT to jump back. I don't know what happened. Now, Google Hangouts, don't make me call Sicily again. Yeah, something happened. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a storm coming in, or maybe there is. I don't know. Yeah, no storm till maybe tomorrow night. Yeah. Wait for him to jump back on. Yeah, DTL lost you. And even my thing flickered in and out. I'm not sure what happened. Heather like Southern and County men. County men? All right, DT.
Yeah, that was strange because both of us got booted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, was it something we said? Come on, Gold. You don't like Southern folks? What's your freaking problem, eh?
Both of us got booted. Then I got back in. I got booted again. Then you come back. And it was weird how that happened.
I've never seen that before. Both of us get booted, and I'm the host.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
It is a Google product, sir.
Yeah. Maybe one of the fireworks, one of the towers, Google headquarters. I don't know.
One of the servers. It's running Windows.
Yeah. All right. So who won the poll, man? Which distro?
The last time I looked, Windows 10 was narrowly ahead. By like less than 100 votes, and we're talking about thousands of people voting.
Yeah.
It was pretty much neck and neck. I don't know what's going to pull it out in the end. We'll see.
You know, if Windows 10 had a master on-off switch for privacy, we wouldn't even be talking about the problem of Windows 10. What do we now? You know,
we wouldn't be talking about that problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, but
that's the big one. Yeah.
That's the second problem is updates take too long.
Let's see. Windows 10 has 1,855 votes. Ghost BSD has 1,806 votes.
Okay.
My viewers hate me.
When is it?
I was going to let it run 1 week, so end of the day Saturday this week.
Right. Okay.
We'll see how it ends up.
You can somehow speed it up and customize it, make it somewhat not totally private. It can be done.
And I'm going to hack on it. If I have to run Windows 10, I'm going to hack the heck out of it. You know me.
Yeah.
It's not going to resemble Windows 10 when I'm done.
Right. Oh, yeah. But you'd be surprised. All the apps work. There are no surprises. There's no, at least for me, there's no bugs. I haven't noticed any. So, like when I use OBS, Chrome, Kdenlive, even for Windows, Shotcut if I have to. It just works. I mean, there's no searching for dependencies or PBAs, and that's the plus for something like that, obviously, you know.
Steven is mentioning maybe some problems in YouTube. The resolution keeps dropping down on your stream. I just finished a stream of my own. People were complaining about it. It's probably a problem on YouTube's end because my connection was fine, at least as far as I could tell on my end. You always have pretty good internet, so
usually I have Comcast, so if it's
I have Comcast too, it's not that great. Yes, all right.
Really? Okay. No, I mean I don't have the highest speed level.
I don't either. Yeah.
I got something in the. I mean, maybe that would help, but I'm not going to spend the extra whatever it costs. It's not necessary. I don't think.
But it seems like this evening it's been kind of that way on everybody that's streaming. So it's probably a problem with.
Could be the heat. Yeah, I don't know. It's too hot to handle. Kdenlive is crap on Win 10, Lamer Linux. I don't think it's crap. It works. Yeah. I didn't have any issues the last time I tried it. It seems a little smoother in Linux since it was designed for Linux, but I don't recall it having an issue.
See, these are the things that scare me because I'm going to use Kdenlive. If I have to run Windows 10, Lamer's telling me Kdenlive is garbage.
All right. If it does not work, Shotcut will work fine. Will work. So try Shotcut.
I thought you were going to tell me just go ahead and partition the drive, dual boot.
Well, that's extra work, but you don't have to.
I'm not going to dual boot. Yeah, I'm going to live in it.
Yeah. Shotcut works. If I can use Kdenlive for another one that's open source, it has to be Shotcut. Yeah. It's lightweight, simple to navigate. But that's what I would use.
Okay.
I just on my ticker feed looks like the beta for Elementary Juno is out.
Yep. I've already downloaded the ISO. I haven't looked at it, but I just pulled it down a couple hours ago.
I might take a look at it. Yeah. And it's not one of my favorite personally. It's hard to customize, but does it work out of the box? Probably. Yeah.
So your top 10 apps. Did we get through the list?
Yeah, let me give you the list here real quick. Yeah, I have Synaptic. Okay. This was the tie for the second one. These weren't really like in order, but I got VLC or SM Player, Kdenlive, Open Broadcaster, or Simple Screen Recorder if I'm not streaming, just to record. Ticker app for my news feed. A transcoder you may have heard of or may not. It's called Curlew.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah. Curlew, great for transcoding video into MP3 files to post them onto my Patreon page as a thank you. So Curlew, check it out. Lightweight, fast, easy. Thunderbird for the PayPal notifications. Email client, of course, Windows 2. Webcam, I use GovC View.
Yep.
And I mentioned web browser. I keep coming back to Chrome. Honorable mention to Opera. That was it. That's my top 10. Again, VirtualBox, because I don't use it as much. I didn't mention it, you know.
So the two web browsers you put in there, neither one of them is free and open source.
That is true.
I'm going to throw out Firefox and Chromium for you guys.
Okay. Chromium, yeah. Chromium would be,
but that's a pretty good list. Yeah, I have no arguments for anything that you listed. That's a lot of the same stuff. Of course, I use. Yeah,
it just work. I've yet to find anything better than Kdenlive.
I didn't know you're a transcoder, but I'll throw another multimedia app that is just fantastic. Audacity is one of the best programs.
Yes, it's
out there. It's just
it's good. It's a little bit much for a newbie.
It's not a new user program.
No. I'll throw out another one. Selene.
Yep. Oh, sorry.
Selene Media. Not GIMP. No. SELENE. Selene Media Encoder. Transcoder. Works pretty good too. I think there's one more. I can't think of it. Oh, there's one called Sound Converter. I think it's just sound and not video. Sound Converter. It's pretty good. Yeah. Simple.
Remember that one, yeah.
But even Kdenlive would transcode video to audio. Just when you go to the render settings, that'll do it. So
render it in MP3 format instead of MP4. Yeah.
Right, right. That's why I don't have to use Audacity. I can use Kdenlive for all of it. But that's what I use. Usually, if I'm not using OBS, I'll use Google Hangouts because it's simple. Usually, I mean, it does usually work. You know, if I'm not having guests on, then I'll use OBS, for transitions and stuff. When I'm not, I'll use this. It's Google. It's free. It works. It's simple. VLC convert from video to, yes, it can, to MP3, but it's not that easy. Last time I tried. That's why I prefer an outside. I mean, VLC can even screencast or screen record, but it's not that easy.
Matter of fact, I was going to say one of the most underrated programs you listed, I'm glad was in your list, Simple Screen Recorder can do a lot too.
That was on my list, yeah.
You can even live stream with Simple Screen Recorder.
Can you really?
I've never tried it, but it does have some of that functionality. Yeah.
Well, when I'm not live screening, I'll use Simple. Yeah.
Obviously, OBS would be better at that.
Well, it does a lot more transitions and all that. Yeah.
But Simple Screen Recorder is probably best if you're just recording your desktop. Simple Screen Recorder is perfect for that.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that you can pause and stop the recording, which is something no other record your desktop kind of software does. That I
think Kazam, or no, does Kazam let you pause? No. I can't remember now. I used to use that a lot before Simple Screen Recorder came back. Because Kazam Screen Recorder.
That really saves you. That really saves you from having to cut and paste later. If you can just pause the video instead of having to go through the process in Kdenlive of putting 10 different video clips together. That's really nice.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And you and I both know, as far as rendering, unless you have a high-end computer, takes forever.
Oh yeah, you better have a good CPU and you better have a good GPU, or you're going to be waiting all day.
I was window shop. Well, this week I went window shopping at Office Specs for a nice chair. There was one for it was $500, but it had memory foam. I'm like, man, I know it's 407. Why it's 479? I have my credit card. I'm like, yeah, I can't do it. I just can't, man. I can't do it. If I had enough supporters, maybe. But and I need this one I fixed years ago. It works, but it's worn out after so many. It just is. Audacity, yeah, Audacity is great for converting vinyl record to MP3s. Okay, all right. I've not tried that.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know how that worked. Actually, how do you?
I have not. I mean,
how do you get vinyl converted to digital?
You need to hook up the turntable. Oh, there are turntables that have USB output.
Okay,
maybe that's why. Okay, that would make sense. I actually have lots of vinyl in storage. Maybe one of these days I'll, break it out and play my Van Halen. Go ahead, jump.
Oh, the early Van Halen was the best with David Lee Roth.
Yeah, girl, of course that was by the Kinks, I think. But yeah, Running with the Devil,
Panama. Yeah. That's a great song.
Yeah, I have these are probably collector's items, but I have the first two soundtracks to Miami Vice on vinyl by Jan Hammer.
Jan Hammer
from Czechoslovakia, of all places. And his was ranked the #1 TV pop song in history, the Miami Vice theme. And you recognize it once you hear it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did a movie, Miami Vice, in 2007. It wasn't like, oh my God, why Hollywood, anyway, but
I started something when I mentioned the best Van Halen was the old stuff with David Lee Roth. Now all the Sammy Hagar fanboys are gonna give me flack.
It's okay. Yeah.
He was okay, but he was no David Lee Roth.
It's hard to beat an original. The original, like when Journey, the guy Steve Perry left, that got somebody else. He's good, but it ain't the same.
He's not Steve Perry.
No, the Australian band INXS, they got somebody else. It's just hard. It's not their fault. Boston, when the guy committed suicide, they got somebody else. Not the same.
It's not the same.
No, it's close. We're fairly close. It's good. I mean, it's professional, but not the same. I did last week. I went to a downtown concert. They had a Neil Diamond themed concert, and that guy, I tell you what, if I didn't know Neil Diamond, I would have sweared that guy was Neil Diamond singing. He was good. He was really good.
Sometimes you get these folks, these impersonators. Sometimes they look like them, they sound like them. Like if you go to like these Vegas shows, sometimes you never guess some of these folks aren't the real guy or gal.
The actor, the voice actor, who used to be on Late Night with Craig Ferguson, he did the voice of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I swear he nailed it. If there's such a thing as perfection, he nailed it. His name is he's from Cleveland. Josh Robert Thompson. There's a plug for him. Check him out. He's on YouTube. Josh Robert. He does other like Morgan Freeman. He just nailed Arnold. He just beautifully done. So, AC/DC. Sure.
Oh yeah, because they had more than one lead singer. Their original singer died, tragically, and then and they were actually, they kind of bucked the trend a little bit because they actually were bigger after the second guy became their lead. So they actually
correct. They hang on, Scott's got a question. What's the difference between Linux Mate and Mint Mate?
I asked that same question the other night.
You mean Ubuntu Mate?
Yeah, Ubuntu Mate and Mint Mate. Because they're both Ubuntu based distros, they both run Mate.
They're very close. Ubuntu Mate, a few more customization options. The looks, otherwise they are very so. Yeah, no, there is a slight difference, Joe. Not much, but mainly in the customization. And otherwise, they're both fine. Yeah.
I also wanted to know the same difference. I know you're not much of an XFCE guy, but Mint XFCE versus Ubuntu. Why would I run one over the other?
I've used both. I got to think for a second. I think I like the looks of Linux Mint XFCE better. Just pure aesthetics, DT. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with the aesthetics. Yeah.
Yeah, I've used both. They're fine. I think the app selection might be better in Linux Mint XFCE. Maybe.
Well, I'm sure Mint ships with more apps on the ISO. It's a bigger
other
ISO.
Than that, yeah. But you know, as far as the Mate desktop, again, it's a throwback to GNOME 2 or GNOME 2, but it's easy. It just works. I don't have to figure it out like I had to with Ubuntu with GNOME. You know, anyway, it's more user friendly in my opinion. So. Mint XFCE is a little more stable. Tux, I don't know.
Well, XFCE should be stable, period, because it doesn't see massive.
It's like Debian, I know.
I mean, really. XFCE has been basically the same XFCE for the last decade. I mean, they've had releases, but it's not changed hardly any. So
right. Let's see. Is it possible to update distros yet through command line in Mint 18? No. Yes, I believe. I thought they not yet. I thought they did. 18.3 to 19? No. Okay.
So the new one, no. There's no upgrade path yet. They're working on one.
I see. Okay. All right.
They'll let you know when it's safe to.
Got it.
And they'll tell you how.
Yeah, I did a fresh install, so
that's the only option available. If you want to move from 18.3 to 19, you have to do a nuke and pave, a fresh install. But if you want to do an upgrade, wait a month or two. They're going to have an upgrade path. They're working on it. So
okay.
But even if they're working on it, I highly recommend you just
fresh.
Yeah, the fresh install is going to be better.
Okay.
You're going to have less problems. So.
Yeah. Did you change your hairs? Are you talking to me or DT? Anthony? You talking to me or him?
He said hairs, like all three of them.
All three of them, yes.
Did you change your hairs?
DT looks great. He took tweezers and combed his hair.
Well, I do have a little more hair today. I haven't shaved in about 3 days.
Okay.
So I guess that's a change. But other than that,
I don't know. Which one, Anthony? Or both of us? Looks good. Yeah, he looks fine. Sure. I like his shirt. Change your hairs. Oh,
so awkward.
Yeah, we're all friends here. It's all good. Was wondering because you tried through the command line. Yeah, generally speaking, I mean, Ubuntu has a nice upgrade path. The Ubuntu, standard one is fine. But generally speaking, you're probably better off with the fresh install.
Even if you want to do the upgrade, I strongly suggest backup.
Yeah.
Have backups, because if the upgrade for some reason doesn't work out for you, you're going to have to do a fresh install anyway. So plan on it just in case.
I should start my screens, screencasts. Welcome to Total OS Today Live. Have you backed up today? Because you should back up regardless. Yeah,
if there's anything on your computer that you can't live without, and you don't have it on some external drive or a DVD or up in the cloud somewhere else, put that thing somewhere else right away, because you would be surprised what can happen.
I don't use software for backup. Some people ask, what about Windows, hardware, external hard drives?
No. Make sure
a bunch of USB sticks works,
It needs to be on a physical drive or another server somewhere. I mean, don't rely on software.
Tux, you want me to do? You talking to me? That's Robert. You talking to me? That's a scene from, is it Taxi Driver, when he looks in the mirror? Hey, you talking to me? I don't remember the whole.
Yeah, that was a great movie though. But I'm a big Robert De Niro fan, as you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pretty much anything he's ever done, I've seen it.
Him, of course, Al Pacino, Scarface. Say hello to my little friend.
Al Pacino. You know what? Some of his greatest films that are underrated. Dog Day Afternoon, one of my favorite films.
I remember about the bank robbery. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. He is good. Scott, you're going to install from scratch, but thought to learn I would try the command. If it was available, it's not that hard. I mean, I've updated Ubuntu through the command line, but if it's not available, I would not attempt it. No. We got some Vegemite comments. Vegemite was not on my top 10 app list. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, people noticed in my earlier stream, I'd had the Vegemite 2 sitting on my desk for the last week. It's not there anymore. And somebody asked me, "Where's the Vegemite?" I said, "I used it to hot tar a roof." So.
Yes, to prevent leaks.
Yeah.
Joe John, you can't stand Robert De Niro's guts. I don't know why, but that's okay. Scott, hot dogs or brats tomorrow? Tomorrow I will have whatever my son wants. He actually likes Burger King, the Whopper. I have coupons, so why not go to? I like Burger King. Yeah, I like their chicken fry if they still make chicken fries. Yeah, we might do that. I don't know. Whatever he wants to do, you know. Hello, Anarita. Hello, darling. Al Pacino, Scent of a Woman. Yeah, classic. One of my favorite Al Pacino movies. Yeah, very good. They had a young Matt Damon, I think, before he became famous.
Oh, I love Carlito's Way. That's another great film.
Carlito's Way. Yeah, I remember that. Sure.
Where he plays the Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Thank you, Anarita. I think you met me, or maybe DT. I'm not sure. She says, hello, handsome.
Still wondering about the hair.
Yeah. Bratwurst. Sometimes I'll eat bratwurst for breakfast. Yeah. Some melted cheese.
Don't read it. Don't read it. Oh,
thank you, Heather.
I think she left out a letter.
Yeah. I know. You guys can read it. Demonetized anyway. Thank you, by the way, for all your PayPal contributions. It does make up for it. You met both of us. Thank you. Hair or no hair, you're handsome. All right. Well, you know what they say: hair today, gone tomorrow. But you're bad at spelling. You still made us. Thank you, Heather. That was very kind of you. Oh my God. You just never know with these live streams. You're bad at spelling. That's okay. Sometimes it's the autocorrect or you type a wrong letter, but sometimes it comes out the way it's meant to be funny. Heather, you are worse than me. Yeah.
I mean, I've misspelled some things, but I haven't butchered a simple word like that.
It's funny though. One comedian said, "Be careful with these fast food places like Burger Crap." It made me laugh, you know. The longer you are married, the more hair you lost. Oh, okay. Hi, Spin Viking. Welcome. Those of you coming in late, we were talking about the top 10 apps. I have Synaptic, VLC, Kdenlive, Open Broadcaster. I have Simple Screen Recorder, Ticker, Curlew Curlew Transcoder, Thunderbird, GUVC, Webcam, and Chrome. Those are my top 10 that I usually use. For me, my top 10 for 2018. Did Beavis and Butthead work at Burger King? I saw him yesterday. No, I don't know. Bratwurst or red beans and rice. If you need to flush out your system, probably. Let's get out of my Ticker app here. Let's get out of this.
Somehow we always get on food, but yeah.
You know, it's the 4th of July holiday almost. Why not?
Yeah, you really want a good smoked sausage in your red beans and rice. But I mean, you can add any kind of pork for flavoring. Sure. Yeah. If you want to, a ham hock works good in beans for flavoring. You could even add a couple of pieces of bacon if that's the only thing you have around.
Yeah. Hello, Chuck. Welcome. Father Sayer, greetings. God bless you and everyone else here in the stream. Hello, Father. Let's see here. There's a weird Samsung bug. Phones are quietly texting photos to random contacts.
I've heard about this one. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. That can cause some serious problems when you're talking bad about that person you work with, and then they get your text or your photo or whatever.
Yeah, never ever take nudes.
Yeah. Oh no,
never. Period.
Why would you be doing that on a mobile device anyway?
Unless you meant to. But yeah, really.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean,
Uh,
Joe Johnson got nude photos.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Never heard of that. No.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something else I caught this morning. It caught my attention, if I can remember. Yeah, the Samsung thing was because that's like, whoa, that's not good. I don't remember. I should have like a little notepad in my bed in the morning, so when I say Alexa news and something catches my eye, or my ear, I should jot it down real quick, because then I'll forget it. You know. I don't remember. I'm scrolling here on the news feed on Google, but I don't remember what they said. BlackBerry's still around?
Yep. Matter of fact,
wow.
Matt, the dark one, doesn't he do stuff on BlackBerry sometimes on his videos? I know he owns a BlackBerry. I've seen one of his videos.
I don't know.
I think it's one of his highest viewed videos, I believe, something he did on the BlackBerry recently. So yeah, there's people that use it.
Huawei patented a smartwatch that stores wireless earbuds. I guess that would be friendly. Oh, this was the second one. HTC cut 1,500 jobs. What has happened to help this company, HTC? You know, they used to be the darling of Android. You know, their Beats speakers, even my phone, the Max, which doesn't have Beats speakers, but still the best speakers on the market 5 years later. Really? I don't know what happened to HTC, man. It's weird. I don't know. I mean, mine still works. I mean, I have outdated software, obviously, but it still works. Hey, Timo, welcome.
How you doing, Tim?
Tim, you can join us if you have time. I know you always miss us, whatever. Tim is a longtime supporter. Thank you. Tim, you're welcome to join if you wish. You too have a safe holiday week. I know you're on the road a lot. Tim, you're welcome to join in if you wish. It's still a little bit early, 10:30 for me, but I'll stick around a little longer since I don't have to get up in the morning early. Microsoft's going to have supposedly a $400 Surface tablet. I thought they already did. Maybe not. I can't remember. Facebook's latest screw-up unblocked people from users' block lists. God. Sometimes the new stuff is not as great. You have a 2012 cell phone. I really do need to get a new one because when I download all the apps that I want, and it bogs it down. It's getting annoying. I really do need to get a new phone. I really do. Because of what I do. Do I need it personally? All those apps? Nah. But because of this, it's just easier for me. So, DT, what kind of a phone do you use?
I have a LG VZ20, and it's horrible. I hate it.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that. LG in general is okay, but that model I don't know.
Before that, I had one of the Samsungs. Those were great. And probably what I'll do next time I need a phone is go back to the Samsung. Those things are just, rock solid. This LG is giving me nothing but problems.
Okay. Ubuntu phone no longer supported, Anthony. He was asking about the Ubuntu phone. It's not supported. Yeah. Spin Viking LibreOffice is good. Shotwell is good. AbiWord. I know all those. Rhythmbox. I did mention Rhythmbox. BleachBit I do use, not as much. Do you use any of those, DT?
Which one's BleachBit? I have used BleachBit in the past for a system cleaner. These days, what I like to use if I'm going to do that kind of stuff is a program called Stacer. I don't know if you guys have heard of Stacer. It's really nice for cleaning out.
Do I have that even?
Cache files.
I think I may even have that. No, I don't. Okay. I thought I did.
Rhythmbox is great. I don't use it, but it
works. It's been all reliable since 06, really. It just works. Let's see. ZT Blade ZMAX. ZT. That sounds like a car wax. It does, doesn't it? I use ZMAX. Yeah. It'll last you for 60,000 years. One of my friends has a '95 Jaguar, and that paint's in mint condition. I'm like, man, She says, "Oh, maybe this weekend you can drive it." Sure, yeah, absolutely. You know, nice looking car. Banshee I don't use. Linux Smith video player I don't really use.
Yeah, Banshee. I haven't used Banshee in a long time, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
For video, I just stick with VLC. VLC is.
Yeah.
Never found a reason to even try anything else other than VLC. It's in everybody's repos. I just stick with what works.
Yeah. Joe says ZMAX was a snake oil additive. I don't use additives. If you want the best oil in general, full synthetic. And
ZMAX sounds like it's a GNU app.
I know, Emacs. Really, yeah.
ZMAX.
You need to boost your thing to the max, whatever. Use ZMAX.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. All right. So the HTC thing. Hello, Paul. Welcome. We are doing fine. Welcome to the stream. How are you?
How's it going, Paul?
Yeah. Joe says that's the way to go. Yeah. I even like synthetic blend. It's not the same, but I never use a regular oil anymore. I'm not going to do it. It's just better full synthetic or synthetic blend. Tests have proven it over and over. So
I'm actually glad Paul showed up here in the chat. I was just going over some comments from my earlier stream, and Paul sent me a super chat right at the end of my stream, and he asked a question, and I didn't get his question or respond to it. So, Paul, if you got that question, hit us up now, and we'll answer it.
Yeah. Anthony, next thing you know, teen suicide because of Facebook bug. I hope not, Anthony. That problem with teens is still a problem. I saw some numbers a week or so doing some research. It's bad. Like I said, this Friday night, 9 p.m., I'll talk about it. I don't think I'll mention numbers. I don't like, hard, cold facts. It does. Look, we all know it's bad.
Yeah.
But I think we've all been through it. Me, DT, and we can share some of our experience and what I believe to be is a solution. You might be surprised or not surprised, an old-fashioned solution.
The other thing, when you start throwing out these numbers, giving all these metrics out there, people are going to want to know what the source is. And you got to make sure your facts are straight on that.
Yeah, from what I've seen in general, it's not good. Meaning, the internet's made it worse because it's easy to attack someone anonymously.
Yeah,
and even if you're not anonymous, it's easy just to be desensitized to all of it.
Yeah.
Anthony, killing Facebook is not a solution. Trust me. No. And I'll give you my solution Friday, but it's not because there'll be something to replace it.
Yeah.
So, the solution is human. It's not virtual or technical.
Right.
In my opinion, so.
I'm going to get back quickly to Paul's question he wanted to ask. Will Timeshift work in Manjaro? Timeshift is packaged in Manjaro. It does work. I've used it on my Manjaro installation. It works just as expected on any other Linux distribution. If you've used it in Linux Mint, works the same in Manjaro. So yes, on Timeshift, it does work. Is it better to create a separate home partition to store the Timeshift backup? Timeshift stores its backup in your root directory. It creates a special directory in the root directory just for the Timeshift snapshots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds easy. I still prefer backups with hardware, external drives.
I never create a separate home partition. The great thing about it, if you create a separate home partition, it's good because you the next time you reinstall your operating system, your home partition just stays put. It's there, but it only works if you're installing the same operating system. So if I wipe out Manjaro today, and tomorrow I install Ubuntu, not everything's going to work as expected because some of that stuff in the home folder that worked in Manjaro is not going to work in Ubuntu, like the bash RC files and all that kind of stuff. So there will be some bugs with it. It only works if you're going to do that and just run the same operating system.
An app like what's it called? Timeshift?
Yeah.
That could be on someone's top 10 app.
Yeah.
Top 10 list.
Timeshift is great. Yeah.
So it's like System Restore in a way, right? Is that what it is?
It takes snapshots and restores.
Okay. Yeah, that could.
Very similar to Deja Dupe, which is available in Ubuntu. guys are familiar with that.
I could see that on someone's top 10 list. Yeah.
But it's interesting. He mentioned trying it in Manjaro. It has not been available in Manjaro until pretty recently. In the last couple of months, people have been asking about it, and I believe it's definitely available in the repos now, because I've
probably had to be tested first and all that. I'm not sure.
You don't want people to rely on it and then it doesn't work.
Back in Time is another one. Okay, I don't use them, so I honestly, guys, I don't know.
Oh, there's at least a dozen of these things probably available in most people's repos. There's a lot of these snapshot utilities. Timeshift seems to be the one that gets the most press these days. It's the one that I guess works the best for most people.
Yeah. Someone mentioned MySpace. Like I said, if Facebook went kafooey, MySpace or something else would take over. That's why I said killing off web-based social media apps. That's not the answer for cyberbullying. There's just too many options. Paul, you back up externally. That's what I do. Clonezilla. Okay. Clonezilla is good for Windows. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. Yeah. Had to read a copy and paste. Sure. The point is just to do it. Copy and paste. Yeah. Just, you know what's funny? My dad does not have a computer. You know, he's let's talk. You know, I've been mentioning he's trying to sell his movie. He's let's talk. Let's cut a deal. That's how he is. You know, he's just not into it. That's good, because that may get someone's attention. Someone who's like straightforward, someone like that. So anyway, let's see here. Anthony, you haven't used any social media, no Facebook. You're a photographer, and social media could get you more clients. But I want to, since you don't support. Some social media is good. What we're doing is social media. This is okay, you know, because we're being civil. We're not insulting each other. We're not, you know what I mean? We're not, you know, having one party against another party. This is okay. I think the world needs more of this. But it's not the solution to this. May be a process towards that solution, but this is not the solution, in my opinion. So time shift, you cannot back up to separate drive. Back in time, you can. Okay, I did not know that. It's like Clonezilla. Okay. The last parish you had an organist who literally still did his music programs with literal copy and paste. Wow. Holding the paper to the windows as a light table. Wow. Okay, hey, God bless, whatever works, right? Yeah. The world needs more common sense. I agree, Anna Rita. Common sense is not so common. This is a lot like being with my family.
One more comment on time shift before we get away from it, because Paul's asking, time shift backs up system files but not user files. Correct. If you want your user data saved, you need to do as Toss and me suggested earlier in the stream. I don't think you were here for it though, Paul. Put that stuff on a USB stick or DVD or an external drive. So like all your documents, you need to save that to another drive somewhere. So.
Well, thank you, Anthony. That's very kind. We don't need more people like you. We need more people to subscribe to you. Thank you. That is very kind of you. Yeah, I mean, as far as hosting a channel, building a channel, having more views and people joining, subscribing is important. But I've noticed in this era of AdSense apocalypse and changes, subscriber stability does not equal income stability. You know, back when I started, boy, that was really kind of you. Thank you. Back when I started, when this channel hit over 2,000 subscribers, between 2,000 and 3,000 subs, I was making about a couple $100 a month. Now, by that logic, if you were to follow the path of progression, I should be up to $600, $700, $800 a month. It doesn't work. I went backwards. You know, so that's why I said subscribers is important, but that doesn't necessarily equal the stability of the channel. Like I said, there was a channel hitting, well, he went over 1 million subs now, but he was like 900,000 subs, and this person begged for people to go on Patreon. It's kind of sad in a way, but I get it. I totally get it. If it's not working, use what works. Somebody said use what works. But yeah, for all the subscribers, thank you. Is greatly appreciated.
Sadly, there's a lot more to it than just subscribers. Really, the most important thing is views, because the more views, the more ads get run. Also, the type of ads that get run. Some channels serve up higher paying ads. They make more money depending on their topic than others. This guy that Toss is mentioning that had 1 million subs. Yeah, I can believe that somebody had that many subs. Maybe they weren't getting the number of views on their videos maybe they should out of those subs. Plus, whatever niche his channel was about had really low paying ads.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest, because this channel became sufficient, meaning it paid for the Comcast bill. I didn't put money in my pocket. But it took about 2 years, maybe a little bit more. And that was surprising. 2,000 some subscribers, less than I was making about a couple hundred, give or take. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But for not a lot of, because obviously I was doing something that people were connecting with. And part of it has to do with feeling comfortable, being civil, common sense, all that adds up. And probably in the long run, if I was a betting man, and I'm not, if you bet with the odds, I would say the more subscribers you have, the more chance you have of building that revenue.
Because the more people get your notifications, but ultimately, it's all about the views. That's why the people that make the big bucks, they don't do stuff like we do. Educational, informative stuff. What are they doing? They're doing PewDiePie stuff. That's what gets the most. Or these channels devoted to kids, especially toddlers that just sit around all day on their tablets or whatever and view just whatever garbage. And some of these videos get tens of millions of views for these people.
Right.
I can't do that. I would feel bad if I tried to do something like this. To be honest.
It's one thing if Friday night or Saturday night, it's going to be nonsense night. That's a different ball game. That's not who we are. But just to make these channels might not seem boring, let's do something silly. That's
if we wanted to make money, I guarantee you, we could buy a couple of puppies and do live stream of nothing but watching puppies play, and get a couple 100,000 subscribers in 6 months. You're right. So,
will those coffee donation thingies work for you? Here's the thing: we're closing in on about 10,000 subs. If everybody was to donate, and I mean everybody, 25 cents a quarter, I could do this full time. Now you're saying, come on, Toss, 25 cents times the subs, right? Think about it. Okay, maybe more, a little bit more than 25 cents. But because of the buildup of, again, we're talking the numbers of subscribers. But you're right, those coffee donations, if everybody donated, I could do this 4 or 5 days a week. I don't need 500,000 subscribers. Again, subscriber count, subscriber stability does not equal revenue stability. That's just the way it is nowadays. But if everybody donated 25, 30, and I mean everybody.
No. And you can't rely on YouTube or AdSense for anything, because that's not stable income. It varies month to month.
It really does.
You couldn't depend on it. You really need some other source.
Right. Right.
That's why people do Patreon, because now people are pledging monthly to you. I mean, it fluctuates a little bit, but it's not going to fluctuate that much. You kind of know what's coming in next month. You can plan toward it.
So. Thank you. Is it Paul? Appreciates us. Thank you. Yeah, it's I can't speak for DT, but you know what? I hate, when the AdSense revenue was growing and it caught me by surprise, I was really grateful. It changed, I think, when YouTube opened up the partnership to everybody, which allowed all the uncool stuff in. I'll just put it that way. That's when I started to hit me and a lot of others. But I don't know about it, but I absolutely hate saying, hey, support the channel through this, through that. It's just more work. It's not who I am, Yep. But I realize if I don't do something, I'm not going to be here doing this anymore, I'm not going to blame YouTube. I'm not going to go there. They had to make adjustments to the way, to prevent advertisers from bailing on them. I get it. And now YouTube is sticking to their guidelines. Before they weren't doing it because they were making money.
I do think it's gotten a little better since they made the guidelines to enter the monetization program a little stiffer. Yeah. Because before it was just too easy to get into it. You had all these basically spammers, and
Mm-hmm.
It was profitable for them to create all these accounts and just put all this garbage up on YouTube.
Right
now, it's a little tougher to do that. So, and it's gotten better for the people that make legit content. Because
the AdSense revenue for me has stabilized somewhat. It's not as bad as it was. It still can't cover the Comcast bill, at least.
Before every video I made was demonetized. Every single video for a couple of months was being demonetized before they made all those changes. So it does seem like I never get anything demonetized anymore. It's pretty rare now.
Yeah, it's YouTube is on the right track in my opinion. We don't need to hate them. But they panicked. There were some ads. Well, there were a lot of ads that were on videos that were not advertiser friendly. You know what I mean? The left versus the right. It was just junk, stupid stuff. We don't. The world doesn't need more hatred. It just doesn't. That's my 2 cents. So
the problem is content like we create, and not just Linux related, but other people that do this kind of informative, educational stuff. This is not sexy content. We're never going to have millions of views on our videos. We're not going to make the kind of money that the people that put all that stupid stuff out there.
So because
we really depend on the viewers for
the Linux market isn't as big as Windows.
Yeah,
well, even if I did only Windows, might be a different ball game. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But still, you wouldn't make as much money as the people that just show kittens and puppies all day.
Right. Yeah. You don't see ads at all, ad blockers. Yeah, that's part of it. But the smart YouTubers from the beginning, AdSense was supplemental. It wasn't the source. Where for me, because I was still learning, it was the source. But when things were going great, why would I want to switch? But they were smart. They had their Patreon sponsors selling books, T-shirts. AdSense was down the list. Amazon links is good too if it works.
It's that old adage, don't put your eggs in one basket. If you have all your eggs in the Google/YouTube basket, that can go away one day and you're left with nothing.
It's if tossed would show more skin. You mean like this?
Demonetized. We were just talking about it, not having.
Are you happy now? Just for you, Anna Rita. For me, YouTube is more of an educational tool. Okay, Paul, sure. I love bald men. Okay, Corey. Let's see here. I want one of them to scat. Whatever.
Demonetized.
Demonetized. Let's see here. I'm wearing shorts. Let's not go there.
Most of the time I'm wearing either shorts or pajama bottoms when I'm doing my videos.
Okay.
You guys, even if you see me like in a button-up shirt, or even if I happen to be wearing a tie, that's from earlier in the day. The pants have already come off.
Yeah, it's hot. It's been in the 90s, so I'm wearing shorts when I can. Yeah, and when I go to bed, I wear my penguin thong. No, I'm just kidding. But chat's going south. Yeah, it was. I had to. Yeah. If you guys get revenue for ads, what happens with people like me who have the premium service without ads? How does that affect you? Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. He's talking about YouTube Red and their new premium service. When you you are our content, Paul, we get a little bit of money from that, a few cents. That's part of, we get a cut of the YouTube Red money. So,
right,
it's just a little bit, but it's something. Yeah.
When we go into analytics, there is a breakdown. It's not a lot, but they do post it.
So instead of you getting served ads, you gave YouTube a little money up front to not be served those ads, but that money still YouTube gets their cut of what they would have got. We get our cut of what it. It's a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Let's see here. You need a cat. Ah, yeah. I don't. Well, all right. Hang on. Does this count? A little stuffed raccoon. I don't know. Yeah, we should keep it civil. I don't think these guys know that I'm from New York. You know, I could lay into them now and they would not recover. But I won't do that. I'll be civil.
Well, you know, sometimes we don't point out, and we should, especially for the people that are kind of new. We try to keep it PG rated in the chat. Also, if you join us in Hangouts, you know, keep it PG rated, because we potentially could get this video demonetized if we say something that somebody takes offense to. So.
Right. One more question. Go ahead, Paul. Sure. Yeah, go ahead. What's your question?
And Dark One is in the chat. We were just talking about him earlier.
Cool.
We were talking about
civility. Yeah.
We were talking about the BlackBerry earlier. Dark One. I remember you made some videos about the BlackBerry.
Yeah.
And Paul's asking about the purchase of merchandise.
I have a few T-shirts off. I think you have. Yeah, obviously, you know.
Yeah, I have a couple of things up on Teespring. I don't really push it that much. It's just these DT branded shirts. Mainly I created them. Well, I could buy them, but they are available. My DT mug, you guys sometimes see me drinking coffee out of.
I should buy one of my own shirts, but I got a freaking closet collection of T-shirts. But maybe I could buy one and wear it.
But yeah, the purchase of merchandise does help. We get, you know, a couple bucks out of that if you were to purchase something, something like Teespring. I don't do Amazon. I don't know if you do. A lot of YouTubers do Amazon affiliates.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I use Amazon to purchase, so why wouldn't I? You know. Yeah.
But yeah, you would get a little bit if somebody clicked, you know, your Amazon link and bought something. So it does help.
Yeah. Scott asked about Eufy boot. I call it the Goofy boot.
Goofy boot.
Like Goofy boot. Speaking of Goofy. All right.
Installing Linux now and UEFI. Hope that's good. It should be. You'll know in a second if you're able to boot into it. I would say.
Yes. I need to sell Toss men's shorts. That's perfectly fine. I don't know if Teespring has shorts. Do they? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they just do
mugs and shirts, hoodies, and hats, hoodies, stuff like that for both men and women.
It would be great if you could do shorts and socks and stuff like that.
A Toss bobblehead. Yeah.
Boxer shorts. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Oh my. See, this is where it happens when you have people who, this is actually a form of cyberbullying with some of these comments. You know, it has no effect on me or DT, you know.
Well, it's just the same guy, you know, with his multiple accounts. He's one of these spammers. He probably uses it to spam most of the time. And tonight he's for fun, just trying to harass you a little bit.
Just to let you know, your IP addresses have been sent to Uncle Guido in Sicily.
And you can tell he's a spammer because look at his username, all types prison food reviews. I mean, this is normally his spam accounts. Yeah.
So if you wake up in the morning missing a few family members, I don't know nothing, man.
Get the caddy trunk ready, huh?
Yeah, I got the caddy trunk ready.
Where's clean and ready
where's
to
the
use?
Freaking keys? I know it's keys somewhere. Put them somewhere. I haven't used the caddy in a while. I'm feeling rusty. Not tonight. I go and use it.
It's like that scene in Goodfellas where they think the guy's dead in the trunk, and they open the trunk up, and the guy starts moving, and they all start stabbing him. Remember that? That's the funniest thing.
I know. Oh man. YouTube won't know how to take that. Okay. Yep. Dual boot's fine if you know what you're doing. Woobi, I don't think Woobi is even used anymore.
No, that died years ago. Yeah, it's not even an option.
Yeah, father says, leave the gun to get the cannoli. Okay. Okay. Sky Bear, yes, that means, you know, see anything, you don't hear anything. Yep. Am I joking? Führer Trump. I like that one. That's a good one. Thank you for making me laugh. Did you see the cartoon the trolls made? Okay, yeah. Okay. Führer Trump is good. Führer Trump is good. Made me laugh. I'll give you half credit. Führer Trump. Just in time for the holidays. I think you guys are sniffing that gunpowder used in firecrackers. It ain't good for you, man. It really isn't. It'll make wee very small than it is, you know. So.
Heather's asking, DT, how did you learn so much about computers and Linux? I don't know nearly as much as you think, Heather. As far as learning about it, I don't have any professional training of any kind. I did not go to school to do anything with computers. I don't work with computers, don't work with Linux. I just do this as a normal desktop user. I was interested in this stuff. So, you know, it's what I do. I play with it.
Yeah. So. Tech Rage says YouTube sponsorship program should help with revenue. I don't have that sponsorship option on my channel yet. I don't know what the criteria. I think it's in beta for some. Well, I agree. It should help. It's just another option,
and it's also, I think, right now for just gaming channels, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, there's super chat here that people can use. I think it's just as simple. Plop Linux. Don't know that, Spin Viking.
Never heard of that one.
No, I don't know that one. You know. Yep, he's another one. Jones. Plop. Is that a real distro?
Yeah, I've never heard of that. It probably is, but you know, it's just there's so many of these things.
Okay. I don't know. Let me see real quick. Plop distro.
Yeah, Mugen says you had computers in school though, didn't you, DT? Yeah, I mean, when I went to school, you know, like elementary school, I mean, that was before, you know, I mean, we learned DOS, and
yeah,
that was
okay. There is basic. A Plop Linux, okay. It's the first I've heard of it.
I didn't start using Linux till, you know, the last 10 years or so, at least on the desktop. So
it's Ubuntu based. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah,
nice.
So I didn't learn Linux as a kid. So if that's
Linux
didn't exist when I was a kid. So.
Didn't exist for me. Well, no,
Unix may have not existed when TOS was a
kid. Yeah, no, really. I'm telling you, man, the most advanced computer was a pinball machine back in the 70s. So for me, it was self-taught. I saw it in a magazine. I got curious, and I downloaded whatever it was, Ubuntu 6 or something back then in 06. Tried it. Back then, it was Windows XP I was using. I found it to be faster, even in the single-core machine, but it wasn't quite ready for power. It took a few years. It wasn't until probably 2010 that I thought I saw the potential for it. That's when I started the channel. Yeah. But it wasn't until 2010 that I saw the potential. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I knew Linux existed, you know, at least since the late 90s. You know, I did have web servers that ran Linux, but as far as actually considering it, as far as like as a real operating system to live in on a normal computer, didn't even cross my mind until, you know, 2007, 2008, when Ubuntu was really becoming popular and Linux was kind of becoming more mainstream, like on tech news and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was like, what, really? People are using Linux as their daily operating system? That's when I first tried it out, you know, played around with it while still living in Windows for a few months, and then eventually just cut Windows completely out. Never went back.
Right, yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. Somebody mentioned having problems with Google something. Did I read it? Google Pay with PayPal. Yeah, I've noticed I get a couple notifications from PayPal that some of you are trying to do monthly recurring it's not working for whatever reason. I don't know why on PayPal. It doesn't tell me why. So maybe that's it. I don't know. For some of you, it works. For some of you, it does not work when you hit the monthly recurring option. I don't know.
And now we have a lot of old people that graduated high school back in the 80s, all sharing their their graduating class year.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a different time back then, man. I didn't really realize the full potential of computers. Probably the late 90s. I started playing games and Star Trek. I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah,
that's what I felt. Yeah.
I mean, the internet really didn't become like a normal part of life until the late 90s for most people. I got into it a little earlier than some. I mean, as early, like in the early 90s, really before the internet was kind of mainstream. I got into it a little bit, but really it wasn't until the late 90s where everybody was on AOL or whatever was popular back, you know.
Yeah. So my first cell phone was an NEC phone. It was like half a brick. And hell, it was, I mean, this thing you could hammer nails into wood, you know.
She had the phones in the bag. Remember the bag phones?
In the 90s, I guess they were still out there. That started in the 80s.
Yeah, that was a little earlier, yeah.
On Miami Vice, I do remember that. In the 90s, that probably changed to portable ones, you know. Then I went from that to a Nokia with the little stubby antenna, the candy bar style phones, you know. Yeah, well, times have changed. Greetings, Switched. How are you? Switch to Linux is in the house. I wonder if Switch was on fire tonight. I don't know if he had a rant. I don't know.
If he talked about Microsoft or Facebook, you know he was on fire. He gets so excited when he gets on those topics. And the chat loves it.
I like it when he says, you know, when he says New York and forget. It's very, you know, when he says, it sounds so more mean and snarky, like forget about it, you know. I'm like, hey, look out, you know. What's up, Switch? Paul's here. The first computer was 200 megahertz. You paid $2,000. Yeah,
I can relate. My very first computer I paid for as a teenager, working a part-time job, I spent $2,000 on my very first, because that's just what you paid back then. I mean, it's crazy the difference in
my first one. It was less than $1,000. It was it a Packard Bell?
Yeah, it could have been back then. What were some of the other big computers? Of course, you had, you know, Macintosh still back then. Tandy was around.
CompUSA is a store I would go to. I'm thinking of the stores, but I think it was Packard Bell. Compaq Computers, I think was a name. I think it was Packard Bell, the one I got into. And it had 8 gigs or 8 gigs.
Not 8 gigs, not back then. They didn't know what a gig was.
Oh, wait, it had 4 megabytes of RAM. I upgraded to 8 so I can play gaming. Ooh. Not 8 gigs, really. What's a gig?
Of course, this was, you know, back then, you know, internet speeds were so slow. Yeah. You didn't even put images on your web pages because it would take all day. Right. You know, like for a picture to load, it would do line by line. You could see each line of the image load on the page.
Back then, a gig was a place where you go to play your guitar. A gig, get it? But yeah.
And video was unheard of. You weren't doing any multimedia on the web. That just didn't even exist because
I do remember getting a Voodoo card. Is that what they called the graphics back then? Voodoo? Rings a bell at all. I don't know. It's been a while. But to play my Need for Speed, I needed the RAM and the card.
I needed a graphics card.
It was like $100 back then. So, but I was able to do Need for Speed. That's what I knew about the potential. The Tandy TRS-80, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember the Tandys. Yeah, Radio Shack. That was a Radio Shack, man. That's right.
Sure. Voodoo cards. Thank you, Skybear. Yes. He lasted a couple of hours at AOL. Okay. You learned as a teen in summer. Okay. Summer school. Okay. Yeah, Apple back then, it was all Microsoft, man. You know, Apple took off in 01 with the invention of the iPod. There you go.
You know, in college in the early 90s, we did use some Macs.
Okay.
I do remember some Macs being around in some of the computer labs. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that was even before Windows blew up. I mean, early 90s was still Windows 3.1 was just, so.
Yeah, and back then there was no talk of apps. It was like, what's installed, it is good. I'm going to use it and learn it, buy some games. Back then there was no talk of apps. Of course, there was no talk of Linux back in the 90s either. It was something. It was exciting. It was new. It was exciting. It was experimental. I was learning it, but I remember playing games to like past midnight. I remember playing Need for Speed when it first came out. There's something about the game, and I would I would play it, and after a while, you would memorize the maps. So I would wreck all these cop cars. They go flying. Then I get caught. The cop comes out, and I'll never forget it. After six cars are wrecked, the cop says, "You're lucky I'm in a good mood. I'm only going to give you a warning." Stupid, But it had its moments, Dial-up and downloading music. Yeah, sure, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael mentions that they had Windows 3.0 in 91 when he was in college. I don't remember any Windows 3.0 back then when I was in school. It really seemed like everything was Macintosh, at least where I was at.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, back then, Netscape, right? AOL, a Real Player, music player, right? Microsoft Outlook for email. I mean, it was a learning process, yeah. RAM was the size of a modern motherboard. Yes. Yeah. Napster. Yeah. They were one of the first. Yeah. I don't know how they got the name Napster. Prodigy. I used to use that. Joe. Yeah.
I actually used Prodigy back in the day. It was a great service.
Prodigy. One was called Earthlink. I even got one of their books, How to Get Started on the Internet. Maybe I should bring that up one of these nights from Earthlink. It's probably a classic. Hello, James. Winamp. Yeah, sure, I remember. There was something about playing hours and hours of music on a computer back then. Rhapsody. I remember my first MP3 player from Samsung. It worked on 2 AAA batteries, a whole 64 megabytes internal memory. Hold on, a CD and a half. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. I don't have to log my heavy portable CD player. But I still have that here. Some of the Samsung Yep, they called it. Boy.
Yeah, Darkwing, I guess, was on CompuServe. I remember CompuServe. That was in, the very early days. CompuServe and Prodigy were around at the same time. They were kind of competitors.
Yeah. CompuServe. Yeah, sure. All those types of stores, CompuServe, Computer City, Circuit City, Radio Shack, man, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I guess they're all ran by dummies, I guess. I don't know. But now people go to Best Buy here in the States, right?
Yeah, Best Buy pretty much is the only one that survived.
Yeah.
When Circuit City died a few years ago, you're not getting any other kind of big tech store. So.
Right.
Pretty much the internet shopping has killed that. So
it probably
much like they killed the bookstores. I mean,
yeah. Combination of factors. That's probably the biggest factor.
Yeah.
But I know there's still a lot of people who still like the one-on-one interaction, like myself.
I think, we will always have a need to have some kind of local computer store because for emergencies, something breaks. I want to go get it right away. I don't want to, wait 2-3 days for something to be shipped to me.
Yes.
So there will always be that need. But if you don't have a pressing matter, you're always going to get better prices online.
Right. So. Best Buy is useless because they don't stock anything you want. I don't know, Joe. I don't know.
When I walk in there, I see a lot of things I want. I just can't afford any of it.
Are you looking for a combination cell phone shaver? Yeah, they're not gonna have it. I don't know. We had Sound Exchange in Florida. The Korea was Sound Advice. I remember, not Sound Exchange. Sound Advice. Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff I use here on my channel, since starting my channel, I bought at Best Buy because I wanted to buy it locally and I wanted it right away. This microphone was bought from Best Buy. My NVIDIA card, when my video card was dying, I needed a new one. I didn't want to wait, 3-4 days for something to be shipped. I went to Best Buy and bought me an NVIDIA 1060 at the local Best Buy. So,
okay. No, they're not stores for computer parts, Joe. No, they may have some, but no, those are online. Well, that used to be Radio Shack for parts, but that's gone. So now you're online. But for general stuff like computers, phones, graphics cards, keyboards, I think
graphics cards, hard drives, cables. Best Buy is great if you're looking for a weird cable, maybe
Yeah. Stephen, you know the problem. I know the problem. My PayPal was connected to your Facebook. Is that why I kept denying? Were you one of the ones where you're trying to donate? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on there. Just don't use the monthly recurring thing, or just go to Patreon if you want to do that. Yeah, because there's no one perfect option to help support content creators. So I have two. I have PayPal and the Patreon. And if you shop, you use Amazon. But if for some reason PayPal's not working, now if you don't like Patreon, don't worry about it. But I have both in case you have an issue with one or the other. But I don't know why that's happening. Yeah. Sound Exchange was in Tampa only. Okay. Micro Center I have heard of. Yes. I'm not familiar with it though.
No, neither am I.
Yeah. If I'm going to buy one, I might go to a Best Buy just to see get caught up on what's available. And I know sometimes they do sell refurbs. You can get a great deal. I might go that way when I'm ready. But I kind of know what I'm looking for. So it's not that critical either way, online or preferably in the store so I can look at it, feel it, touch it, play with it.
Right.
Build my own. I'm too lazy for that. I'll just tell you, I'm just too lazy for that. Yeah.
For me, it's usually like I need something right away.
My
SSD drive died. Let me go buy a new one. Yeah, that's kind of
right. Now this one I did buy. I may have bought this. Would I buy this at Walmart? This Lenovo, I can't remember. But this is like 7 years old. Dual core, 6 gigs of RAM. It plays with Linux fine. I don't remember. But I trust Lenovo and ThinkPad, so I bought it because of the brand, and I was right; it still runs. So, but this is by no means professional equipment that we're using. It's not, you're talking thousands of dollars there. But probably if I was to get an upgraded 4K camera, as an example, now you want a 4K capable computer.
I know that we're talking about computer,
right there. Yeah,
we're talking about computer stuff. Best Buy, of course, does sell cameras, real cameras. Now you're talking about like the really expensive stuff. I wouldn't expect any like local store to have anything that costs thousands of dollars on hand, because that's not something they could put out on the floor for theft reasons.
Right.
Even if they had it, it would have to be locked away. So usually they don't even bother carrying it in the stores. You want that, you have to go to our website and order it. That's
yes. Good camera from like Canon or Nikon, you're probably minimum $500 minimum. Office Max is limited, Kyrie. Yeah.
They're asking about Canon cameras.
Yeah, Canon's good.
Yeah, some of the good Canon DSLR cameras, if that's what you're looking at.
Yes.
The mid-tier ones start around 500. Yeah.
Yeah. For the mirrorless ones, I believe is 600. I don't know if one's better than the other.
Yeah.
Of course, I would be looking for one that has HDMI, not see-through, but like output where you can stream. And not just record. There's a word for that. I want to say see, but it's not see-through. What is it?
No, it's a HDMI output. What it is the some of the cameras have
stream, but right. But some of them will allow the output not to stream at the same time, though. That's the key, right? I think.
Well, what you need is they have a HDMI output,
right?
But for you to stream with that, you have to have a capture card that will capture.
Okay.
So you either have to have a capture card with HDMI output in your computer, or they sell these devices called these external capture cards that will plug into your machine, plug into the HDMI cable of your camera, and now you open OBS,
right,
and you can stream. Yeah,
right. But I think some cameras you don't need to do that. You just plug it in, you're ready to go. I can't think of the technical term.
I don't know of any camera.
Yeah, I gotta look it up.
You have to have a place to plug that HDMI cable into.
True.
And the only way to do that is with a capture card.
True.
You can't just plug it into your video card, because that is not for input.
No, unless it has a USB out. Unless the thing was made with an adapter. You know what I mean?
Right.
That might work. I gotta look it up when I'm ready. But you're right. You would need a capture card if it's HDMI out. Yes, yes, you would. Yes. And then the camera also has to be capable of streaming. I looked it up. It's somewhat complicated in a way, but
yeah,
anyway,
it's a little complicated, but it's not cheap because to do that, you're going to buy a good camera. Right. You have to make sure this camera has clean HDMI output, meaning no timestamps or anything. Most cameras put all that crap on the screen.
Yes.
To do what we do, we want a clean picture. Most cameras do not do that. So you have to make sure you buy the right camera. And then this capture card I'm talking about for the HDMI to plug into. $200-300 maybe. That's expensive. You're looking at $1,000 really
easily. And now you got to buy the computer to match it. So that's $2,000. But you would get a more crisper looking, image than what you're seeing.
And that's cheap. What I just mentioned, $1,000 in. They're the professional YouTubers that really do this full time. Some of them spend $5,000-10,000 even just on a camera.
And you can tell it shows. It really does.
It does show. It looks very professional.
Yeah. The Panasonic Lumix, I've heard of it. Yes, it's a very good camera too. Also, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would need 4K. It would be nice to have. But obviously, if you buy a 4K capable camera, it's going to do 1080p nicely, even 720p nicely, probably.
But Daniel in the chat is, does your Yeti mic turn on by itself? Asking about my mic. It's always powered on, but it depends on what program we have open. Like here in Hangouts. Hangouts just does this magic. It knows when I'm speaking. It begins capturing my voice. Zoom is kind of like that too. Some of them, they have this push to talk feature. Some of them just know when you're speaking.
Yeah.
So it depends on what program I'm using to talk. So
some photographers are using mirrorless camera. I guess it's pros and cons to either ones. I have to get more information, but that's the new thing is mirrorless, but they run a little more money.
I wish I knew more about this stuff.
I think they're lighter. I think one thing is that they're smaller and lighter, and that's an advantage, I do believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. That they are lighter. That would be nice to have less weight. Is that worth like an extra $100 or so? I don't know.
And Tux1313, he's correct. The digital red camera that streams in 8K is $50,000. And yes, there are a couple of well-known YouTubers that use those. And the picture looks great, but it cost them $50,000 for that camera.
Unless I was in the movie business where I was paid tens of thousands. And you could do a movie with 4K nowadays. But that's a bit, but I mean, that's nice.
Yeah.
$50,000 per camera. Hi, Joe. How are you? What's happening?
You're right. Per camera. I think one of those guys I mentioned has 2 of them. I could be wrong about, but I think he has multiple cameras.
Right. But if he makes 6 figures a month, it's not a problem.
Oh yeah. Then you can pimp out your studio and
Yeah, really. MBKHD has one.
That's the guy. Yeah. That's the YouTuber.
That's a young man too. Nice. Well, good for him. He makes good stuff though. Yeah. And I think all his money's from AdSense. I don't think he does Patreon, right?
I don't know. But if you get enough views on your channel, you don't have to worry about Patreon.
How many subscribers does MPKHB MB have, Kyrie? I bet it's in the millions subscribers, which means he could probably do it all for AdSense. Yeah, if I had to guess. Wow, $50,000
Well, usually if they have that many subscribers, they try to market themselves in other ways. He probably sells other gear or services of some kind. I don't know.
I think he does shirts now and all that. I think he rents a studio, a nice big studio too.
Yeah, 6.3 subscribers, 6.3 million. Okay.
Okay. All right. Then he wouldn't need Patreon.
No. He's like, okay.
No, that's 6 figures. That's millions of dollars of revenue a year, probably.
Oh yeah,
probably. If I had to go, well, good for him. No, I've seen his stuff. He's good. Nice young man. Does good stuff.
Like his last video that he posted a couple of days ago has 1.1 million views. That's just the last one he posted. That's more views than I have for the entirety of what I've done.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. 5 million. Yeah. Well, even if you say he made 50 cents on each view, do the math, or 25 cents.
Yeah. Or
powers and numbers.
I mean, let's give him 1 cent per view on that. It's still
or even one. Yeah, you could buy a camera. Oh, the show Friday is at 9. Switch the social media and cyber bullying. Switch, if you want to join in, I'll stay on a little bit longer. Joe, if you want to join in, it's fine. I don't have to get up in the morning. So
that's the only reason I'm here is because I have nothing planned tomorrow, really. So
you guys want to join in, but yeah, that show is on Friday at 9, maybe a little later, give or take. Switch would be the co-host, I do believe. Joe, if you want to come on, it's fine. DT, if you want to, you guys can share. Again, the purpose of that video, and I want everybody, so I may demonetize it myself. You can still support it through PayPal. I don't want the ads on there, but is to talk about it, maybe help change a person's life, maybe save a person's life. I was asked to do it. I think it's a great topic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it.
I think so too.
Yeah. So then we'll go from there.
I may or may not be around Friday.
Okay.
I'm just going to have to play it by ear, but I'm going to try to.
I could do it solo if I have to have lots to talk about, but obviously it'll be nice to get.
If I know you'll be on for a little while, I'll probably join you at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually I should be on by maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get shocked with salt and pepper, head need a shave. Joey, you're fine. Let me send you a link. Jeez.
Yeah, Joe joined my stream earlier. He hasn't shaved in about 3 weeks, it looks like. So
that's okay. Sometimes I don't shave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did, but it's not that. I bought a 6-blade shaver, and I used a couple of days. I'm like, man, it was like, I shaved Sunday. And it was almost too close. I'm like, I'm so tender and sensitive.
It's still not going to be as bad as that guy earlier in the stream that asked, "What is up with your hairs?"
Yeah, really. My hairs. Oh, I think he said it looks darker. I think I do occasionally. Hang on, let me get this to Joe first. I think I know what he meant. Give me a second here. Occasionally, I will. All right, Joe. There you go. Occasionally, I will use coloring because I think it just looks better. It's more, vanity thing because I think it looks better on camera. You can barely see a little gray here, but sometimes I'll do it once every 3-4 months. I'm not going to go crazy, but I think it looks better. But that's the only reason why. And if I get more subs and more views and more PayPal donations, sure, I'll go blonde if you want me to. Maybe not blonde, but
don't do that.
Yeah,
maybe you should create a poll. What you should dye your hair, kind of like I did with the operating system.
Should I go blonde?
They're gonna troll you though.
Hi, Joe. I know, man. Okay, my mom will kill me. What's the matter with you? What's up, Joe?
Not much. Trying to get this thing organized here. It's jumping all over the screens.
Yeah, 6-bladed. I went to Sky Bear. I went to, where did I go to? TJ Maxx. I took my mom there. She bought a purse. So they had a 6-blade, not a shaver, handle, blades for $4 for 2 of them. I'm like, for $4, even I got to throw it away. So I put my my gel cream on, lather it up. And I'm like, Edge. I use Edge for shaving. I put this on. I'm like, man, this is really cutting close. Even for an Italian guy like me, forget about it. But when I was done, it definitely did a great job, but it almost felt I cut it too close. It was tender. But I forgot to put lotion afterwards. But you know what? For $2 per handle shave, I think it was Barbazol brand cheapo, but it worked. The 6-blade really cut down the shaving time. So yeah, they do make a 6-blade. There was a Saturday Night Live sketch, I think. The Quintella, it was a 15-blade razor. Oh my God, it was bigger than his face. A blonde. Robert says a blonde toss would look like a supervillain. Probably would.
Yeah.
Mr. Bond, the end is near. You will fight. You'll be destroyed by Miss Piggy.
That's tough Italian guys with the baby faces. I'm the same way. If I shave, that's why I hate to shave, and I'd like to shave more often. And then sometimes kind of forget. But
I need. I try to let it grow, but then I start to itch. I start to scratch. It's like, man, I gotta freaking. I don't want to. Now, sometimes I'll shave with 2 blades, one in each hand to save time, or 2 shavers.
Derek said, he said, "Oh, you look like he said, you look like you haven't shaved for about a week." That's about 4 or 5 days is awesome.
Okay, yeah.
But I tried electric shit. Those don't work. And then I actually went back to remember the safety razors where you crank it open, it looks like the door. I've got one of those, but they're not bad. But you got to have, I don't know.
Try the Braun shavers, Joe. They will work. Braun.
Yeah.
They will work. Forget the Remington and the Norelco in my test. I'm not disparaging you guys, companies. If you want to sponsor this video, you can. But no. Braun works for me. I think Braun will work.
Talking about the electric?
Yeah, cordless.
Yeah.
Don't get the cheap one, but yeah, it will work. Yeah.
Okay.
Straight razor, they still make it. You got to be careful because you can cut yourself straight. Does it cut grass too? Yeah, that blade so sharp it would take all day. But
I don't think you'd want to go and cut your grass and then cut your face with it.
Oh. Yeah, really. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, once you start shaving your head, only the best razors will do. So I don't do anything that's not at least 4 blades.
What do you use? Do you use like Gillette or?
Yeah, like a Gillette Fusion or a Schick Quattro. That's the only 2 things.
Okay.
Don't try to buy like a single blade Bic and then try to shave your head.
Oh, forget it. Forget about it.
Yeah,
you'll be pulling and pulling and pulling, right?
Oh
yeah. Joe looks like Santa. I don't know. Anyway, Joe.
I'm seeing the cap in the other room. I go get
there. You
go. Yeah. Well, Derek had a pretty full house tonight, so I know it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing some of those Zoom chats. I don't do them that often. It's only like the 3rd one I think I've ever done, but people seem to like them. So
yeah. And I find the blue blades from blue blades. Oh, blue steel blades. Okay, I got it. Right there. Yeah, no, and so what are you doing tomorrow, Carmine? Anything? And Derek and I kind of talk about what we're going to do.
Yeah, my son wanted to do something, so whatever. We'll go from there. I don't have any specific plans. My neighbor across the way is having a big blowout, as she does every year. But I wanted to stay inside cool tonight. I spent some time today with one of my friends. She got back from Austria. She was here for like 3 weeks. Spent a few hours with her. She messed up her back doing something. So anyway, Kyrie says you skinned your head shaving. You were bleeding badly. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't use the right razors.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, my plans have changed for tomorrow from when I talked to Derek earlier, because I guess my wife decided to work tomorrow. So I don't know what's going on. We'll have to see. I don't know if the kids are going to do anything. And actually, I was out cutting grass, and I had to laugh because I looked at the video we were on the other day, and I go, these guys are going to think I don't change my shirt because I got the same Blackhawk shirt on. But I've got like 40 of these shirts from when I had my remodeling business. And I dug out the basket the other day, so I thought, God, people are going to think I don't change my clothes. Don't shave, don't change. It's like, what's going on?
Right. It's funny. None of us have shaved in a few days here. And you talk about the shirts. It's funny because I've been like this my whole life as far as T-shirts. It seems like every T-shirt I buy is either a gray T-shirt or a navy blue T-shirt. Yeah. So sometimes, it'll seem like I wore the same shirt, for 3 or 4 days. But it's been a different shirt every day. It's just I own, all gray T-shirts. So
yeah, when I ordered these, and there's a funny story behind that, because when I ordered these, I'm not exaggerating, at least 40 or 50 shirts. When I ordered them, I was giving them the family members and whatever too, but I still probably have a lot of them myself. I don't know how many are left, but there's a lot of them. And I had bought hats too. My wife to this day laughs at me because we were sitting out with the kids. They were at a softball game for 4-H, and it started raining. And all of a sudden, I had this red running down my face. It looked like somebody hit me with a bat. And when I got home to change, my my skin, my chest was all red. My underwear were red. The shirt bled from the color.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. So to this day, even now, I still hear about the shirts. Well, they don't do it anymore, of course.
Hey, Joe, you're talking about having a lot of the same shirt. Did you read Switch's comment in the chat? Do you?
Yeah. Oh, what? Oh. Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah.
We had talked about Joe, about my top 10 apps that I use. That was the main conversation. Then we went off into different things.
Can we do something different one day, Carmine?
Yeah.
Could we talk about our top 10 least favorite Linux programs?
We could definitely do that. Yeah.
Number one on the list, of course, it's going to be Pulse Audio, but spots 2 through 10 are wide open. So.
No, I don't have a problem with Pulse Audio. Personally, I'd have to think about it though. Yeah. Hello, Logan Goodwin. Welcome. My least. I'm trying to think. What would be some of my least favorite? I don't know. That's a good one. That is a good one.
We'd have to put some thought into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say probably one of them is probably Dead Beef Music Play because of the name.
Yeah.
Just because of the name, really, Dead Beef. Trying to think here.
We could do a lot of multimedia. I mean,
OpenShot never works for me, even though
we talked about Pulse Audio, the Jack server, because it's so difficult to set up.
All right, that's a good one. Yeah. Probably anything that is only terminal based, forget about. Ain't gonna happen.
Well, the one thing too that I should look in there to see if they fixed or added. I've been using 2.10 for GIMP, right?
Okay.
I love all the stuff they've added to it. They've rearranged some stuff, which is kind of messing me up now because stuff isn't where it used to be before or whatever. And like even the sharpening tool is done a little differently.
Yes, but I've noticed some of this too, like in your little toolbar on the side. Some of the icons have been changed and they're not what you're used to, and it takes you a second to figure out where these tools are now because it all looks different. Yeah.
Do you know, Derek, which I haven't looked for, my son's biggest complaint about it, because I tried getting him to use it and he was all for it. And then when he couldn't get the CMYK support, there wasn't there to save a file for CMYK. I thought they were adding that for my
I'm not sure on that one, Joe.
Yeah, and that's the thing that the other thing too is I have 2.8 in here and 2.10. Actually, it's 2.8. I can't remember what it's 2.8 dot something or other. And it's kind of unnerving when you've got them both and they both have the exact same name with no version numbers at the end, so you don't know which one you're opening if you want to go back to the other one or whatever. So not that that's my least favorite, but I was just curious if you had any exposure to that, because I don't know if do you use any of that kind of stuff for Carmine for like GIMP or anything? I thought you did, didn't you, or no?
I use GIMP to create these logos because it's simple. I don't get into it that much. I don't know all the ins and outs of GIMP, but to create these like Total OS Today logos, because it's just a drop down file, create logo. You have an option and experiment. That's fairly easy, but that's about it for GIMP. Yeah,
I've played around in GIMP a little bit, but
it does a lot, and it's great. But,
well, they added a lot of new stuff, and one of the things I like the best is when you're setting up your menu bar on the side. You can go in. It's a simple, basically features option. You go into your tools. You basically say you click on what you want to show up there. It doesn't have them all, which I wish it did, because it's nice that you could add what you want instead of having to go hit the bar, bring it down, go over, grab it. Where you just click on it and it's there. Now there's shortcuts too, but. And, all the time I've been using it, I still haven't learned it quite like I want. But I think if you really want to play with something, it'd be a good program to play with and learn. Inkscape's the one that kind of throws me all the time.
Inkscape has a high learning curve. So does, if you do any kind of like animation stuff, Blender. I would love to know more about Blender, but man, there's a big learning curve to that too.
Yeah.
Speaking of the top apps that kind of suck in Linux, we started something because We've got a lot of talking. WPS, Kmail, Brasero, WPS again, HexChat, Pigeon.
All right, one night me and DT will co-host. Okay.
What's wrong with Brasero? I've never had a problem with Brasero.
It's been hit and miss. I've got it to work. It's been a hit and miss. Yeah.
And HexChat is just an IRC chat client. How could that? I don't know.
I don't know.
What's the other one I'm thinking of that Tom uses if he's still out there?
Probably anything that has to be terminal based. I'm not going to like off the bat. So
yeah, there's one that I wanted to use, Evolution. I loved Evolution, but it didn't want to sync with my contacts. There's something with it where it just doesn't sync with your Gmail contacts or whatever. You know, that drives me nuts because it really looks like a fantastic program. I think even better than Thunderbird or any other ones out there. For
yeah, the GIMP, I like the simple ones, like this new logo I have with the planet Earth. You know, that was actually a download from ignitemotion.com. Free downloads. Ignite Motion, check it out. And what I did, I played it, no music, and I took a screenshot of the Earth, right? I saved the screenshot, I pasted that into GIMP, then I created a separate Total OS Today live logo and just dragged it into where Planet Earth, and that's how I have that nice looking logo. It took maybe, I don't know, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't get into the heavy graphics stuff. It's time consuming. But something like this where I had the screenshot ready to go, and then to create a logo option in GIMP. I had to experiment with the colors, like the blending of the sunlight into the letters. But 5 minutes, it didn't. Of course, I've gotten used to it now. But that's what I use GIMP mainly for. Now some people get into it and adds lots of graphics. DT, what do you use? You use GIMP, right?
Yep,
okay.
Yep. I make all my thumbnails in GIMP. I've been using GIMP for a long time. Again, I'm not a graphics artist, but I've used it for stuff like I do on this channel and for building websites. Any kind of graphics I create, I've always used GIMP.
Okay.
Switching to Linux a decade ago. Before that, used to play around a little bit with Photoshop back in the day, but now I don't touch anything like that. So
I've noticed it's go ahead.
I was saying, do you mind if I do a screen share and show you something that I did in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it's and honestly, I don't know if I'd remember how to duplicate it again. But this is
highlight. There should be the green thing on the left that says screen share on the top.
No, but I mean I'm talking about
this. Okay, yeah, okay.
For my business, and it actually has a clear background. So if I put it over white, if I put it over black, whatever, it's there. But it looks like a 3D and with the metal effect and all that. And I did that so long ago. I said I don't know if I'd remember how to do it again. But that was done in GIMP. And these are all different layers, like the plug, which looks like the the DVI plug going to. So, but it's a lot of fun. And,
I mean, I think it's been proven that certain thumbnails help. I've noticed since I've been using this Total OS Today Live, like the subs have gone up a little bit. And I guess Heather likes it. It's hit and miss. It's hit and miss.
Thumbnails help.
Hello, Tom.
Greetings. How are you?
Doing good. But yeah, I use GIMP sparingly.
Here, Tom.
It's a great tool.
Yeah, I don't have my camera on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the camera's attached to the other computers right now, and I'm still doing other stuff. But the mic was free. So.
All right. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Bob. I just love this topic, so I decided to jump on because I do a lot of graphic arts. So I use Blender, I use GIMP, I use
graphical stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time consuming. Obviously, Blender is super time consuming.
Yeah, I'm actually the book that I'm working on right now with my friend. We've actually decided we're going to do our 3D cover. Our cover is going to be 3D on that. So we're actually designing an entire book cover in Blender. And I have about 30, no, not 30, maybe 20 hours into it right now. And we're about halfway done with the front cover.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's amazing. It's just so complicated to work with.
It works, but it's complicated. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not for an amateur, really.
No, and you mentioned Inkscape too. Inkscape's not super complicated. It's just we're not used to using vector applications.
Right.
No, it's a little more crude though, is what I think. I mean, it's not a bad application. It just seems a little more maybe crude isn't the right word. It doesn't seem as what is the word I'm looking for, Tom? You know what I'm talking about? You remember? Okay, it's like looking at Windows 10 today and Windows 3.1. Mm-hmm. Kind of the interface. You know what I mean? And again,
like for Inkscape? No, I mean, if you compare, like Inkscape is not anything like GIMP. That's where a lot of people have misconception. Inkscape is a vector application. GIMP is a raster application. And so if you know how to use Illustrator, which is the Adobe version, you'd actually find that Inkscape is every bit as good as Illustrator. Outside of the fact that Illustrator, you can have multiple canvases. And really the setup is much the same. If you know one, you can jump right into the other immediately. It's pretty easy.
And I'm not saying anything about its capabilities. It's just the way I thought about when you first open it up, it starts out realistic window and all that.
Yeah, and Illustrator does the same thing.
Yeah. And I haven't had a lot of exposure to Illustrator.
I do have a confession to make though. I'm working on I have the text redesigned for my first book where I'm republishing it. I'm doing the cover on Photoshop instead of GIMP for now. It just has to do with where I was when the thing was ready.
Wow. And of course, if you're running Photoshop, you're not doing that in Linux, are you?
No. See with Tom, the cat's literally out of the bag.
No, and it's just because where I had everything at, and it's just that computer was on all that. So
use whatever works to make your life easier. That's the smart way to do it.
Yeah, it's just because the Windows computer was on, and I could either play some card games for the last hour of my day or design my book cover for the last hour of the day. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to be productive. I'm just the Linux system's not on, and this one is, and I'm just going to use it. So.
There you go.
Once I have this done, then I'm going to actually design the side and the back. All that's going to be done on GIMP. So
I'm glad for you, Tom. You're making some use out of that Windows machine.
Well, it's actually my main work computer, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's the book about anyway?
This is my first book. Is called Testing and Temptations. I wanted to reprint it and get it away from the publisher because. You know, when one of those sells, I get $1. When it sells through my own publishing arm, I get like $3.50. So
that's not bad. Well,
yeah. And so learning the process.
Is this a Christianity book?
Yes. Yeah, this is a Christian book.
I kind of figured that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll pick it up. Huh?
Yeah. Well, if you're a patron too, you any of my patrons
get the digital copies. I subscribe to your Patreon page, maybe.
What's that?
I said I might join that. Maybe I'm kind of tight for money, but I might still do it.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I just spent $500 on computer parts for crying out loud for my birthday.
Ben's got to buy a computer patch like the smoke. He's been buying too many.
Well, the ebooks on my website are $2.50. $2.50, and so that's I put them over there. I think. The patrons, as of right now, I think could get them at any level, but I'm going to cut that back to $5 and up as I get the new site relaunched and stuff. But
did you see what Father Sayer said?
Oh
no!
Next thing, Tom will wear Microsoft shirts.
No. Let's not on that road.
Yeah. No, actually, right now I'm wearing my Switch to Kitty shirt.
He could if it says Microsoft move over Linux rules. Then he could wear Microsoft shirts.
I would do that if I wasn't too concerned about breaking their copyright.
Yes, you wouldn't be able to use their logo as the problem.
Well, if I ever make an intro for my YouTube, it's gonna involve the song by George Thorogood, "Move It On Over."
Oh well.
He'll have to change his name or rebrand his name to switch to Lindblom.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, when's the food gonna start?
Oh, we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
Bratwurst. I am kind of thirsty though. I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back.
I made an ice cream cake for my party today that people agreed was one of my best. This thing has an Oreo cookie crust, light chocolate ice cream, a layer of diced peanuts. I put homemade caramel on it, and then vanilla ice cream with chopped peanuts in it, and then a layer of peanuts, and then more homemade caramel on the top.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Good.
Sounds like it.
And all I got is Little Caesar's cheese pizza.
Yeah,
Don't
pizza.
get your cholesterol checked at 3.
But it's cold, so I'm probably going to have to end up throwing out the garbage. I'm going to go downstairs and make something to eat here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, we covered food earlier, and for those wondering, we got the this video demonetized earlier in the stream. We went ahead and got that out of the way. So,
what did you guys do to demonetize it?
Well, we had some characters.
We had an interesting fellow who decided to join us in the chat with multiple accounts.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
It was somewhat adultish. One guy called himself Führer Trub. That made me laugh. That was a good one.
Well, on a brighter note, I am going to share screen my order with you guys of my parts, just to kind of bring things back to sensible. Who knows what?
Barbecue chips.
All right, so here's what I bought: an AMD Ryzen 5 1600 with Raspberry cooler, whatever that is, an EVGA 550 watt gold power supply, an extra 4 gigs of RAM, so I'll be up to 12, and a Gigabyte Gaming 3 AMD motherboard, and this Retoro mid-tower gaming case with clear window panel full ATX.
Oh, show me the motherboard again.
Here, I'll just blow it up so you can see.
The Gigabyte. Let's see.
Gaming. It's an AB350 gaming motherboard.
350.
Look at that beast.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually very, very close to the board I have. It's slightly different.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks almost identical, but I think my lights go on the opposite side, and rather than being right there on the front, mine is a different model, and I can't remember what my model is.
Someone helped me pick these parts, but you know, the reason I picked this was because get my mouse over here. If we go to the case, see, it almost matches my case that I picked.
Yeah,
the colors.
Nice. Yeah, according to the Retoro case, which is very uncommon.
How much is that case? Actually, I could not find a lot of cases with actual front slots.
Yeah, it's a $50 case.
$50. Huh.
Yeah, and everything is coming. I got free Prime shipping because I have Amazon Prime, so I got it all. Oh, payment revision? What the hell?
Oh, make sure when you process it, if you didn't process it already, that you use somebody's associate account.
Let me see what happened. Okay, what the hell? I have $442 on my debit card. Why is it complaining? This doesn't make sense.
Okay.
I will take the screen share down now because I want to share my payment information.
Yeah, that would probably be best.
Yeah, oopsie.
Yeah, I don't want you guys seeing me.
Hey, Ben, you haven't shared this information with anybody else, have you?
No.
On a different stream.
Oh, hell no. I don't probably share my debit card on stream.
Another 2 minutes, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't want people stealing my birthday present.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I haven't heard of that case, that Retoro. That doesn't mean.
I'm looking at
Yeah, I have a Cougar case is the one I have. I think that and the graphics card is the only thing I didn't buy new when I rebuilt mine.
Yeah, Tux in the chat mentions the Ryzen AMD only uses DDR4.
Yes,
I have DDR4 RAM. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct. That's why I'm still selling 32 gigabytes of DDR3.
That's not bad, man. Yeah. And if oh my gosh.
Well, if nothing else, Tom, if you can't get rid of it, you just build yourself a little server computer or something.
Yeah,
you don't have to have server memory to do it if you're just looking to build a little NAS.
Build a little NAS type deal. Yeah. It would be an interesting idea. But you see,
Have any of you ever looked at the? I'm partial to fractal cases. Have any of you looked at the Fractal R6?
nah.
No, I haven't checked that out. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got the panel. The way they did the glass on the side is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And actually, all their lines. There's a few of them that they have that look very similar. If you want something smaller, that's a pretty big case. That's what I have here too.
Yeah.
Hello, Tim. Tim is in the house. Can you hear us?
Evening.
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me fairly well?
Yes.
Yes.
We got you, Tim.
Yes, I hear you fine.
What
Did you
a
hop again
deal.
since we saw you today?
What was that, Joe?
Did you hop again since we saw you 2 hours ago?
No. No. You know what? Let's enlighten that comment by Mr. Panico. For you guys to know, I had some time on my hands today, and I saw that PenGuy OS had been released.
Yep.
And I thought, you know what the heck, I'll give it a try because
Yeah.
I actually used PenGuy a number of years ago for, I don't know, a little bit of time. So I threw it on, and you know what? I'm pretty impressed with it. However, when I jumped on the chat here just a few minutes ago,
what is PenGuy's base now? I know it used to be back in the GNOME 2 days, and then he just stopped. What's he basing it on now? Do you know?
it's Ubuntu 18.04.
So he's basing it on stock Ubuntu 18.04?
Yes.
Okay, I just was checking.
Yep. But I joined the chat here a few minutes ago, and remember that issue I was having with Chrome here, what, a month ago?
Yeah, okay.
Where it kept puking out on me, you know, page unresponsive and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That happened. So I downloaded Vivaldi and jumped into Hangouts on Vivaldi, and it's running great.
Okay, good.
I'm looking at the chat, Theodore. What are you doing?
He's being weird.
Guys, I need help. I did something embarrassing. You know, the Sony PSP. Well, it wasn't working, charging. I read somewhere online that I need to put it in the toaster.
It's done, man.
Oh, you know,
It's-
there is. I collect old transistor radios, and one of the tricks you can do on, and these are transistor radios from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, is every so often the solder on the boards can kind of go flaky. You can actually take an old transistor radio and put it in the oven on a cookie sheet at like 150 degrees for like 20 minutes or a half hour, and try to bake some of the crap off of the solder and whatnot. Take it out of the oven and then clean it really good.
Interesting.
But I've never
Well,
heard. of putting
Theodore
something in
says the toaster caught fire and he had the fire extinguisher. Yeah. Don't do that. Honestly, I don't know what the problem is, to be serious.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put a PlayStation in a toaster oven though. That sounds.
I mean, I have a PlayStation. No, I have an Xbox. I've seen a PlayStation. I have a toaster oven. I can't imagine how you can fit those in.
These are portables, Tom. They're PlayStation portable.
the place portable.
The
PSP, yeah, the PSP.
I'm sorry, my apologies. Yes.
Yeah,
You know what? You can also restore the headphone jack in an Apple with a little drill. You know. No, I'm kidding. You cannot. That will destroy your Apple.
That would screw up your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's asking, should he plug it in?
No.
Well, if it was on fire before.
No.
If you had to put out a fire, I wouldn't plug it into the wall now. So.
Yeah, unless
Do it
you
at McDonald's. If you, no, I'm just kidding. If you're gonna plug it in, no, but I'm only kidding.
Oh my
Take
god.
it to a friend's house. Ask them to do it.
Yeah.
What I would do is get like a
You know,
50-foot extension cord and run it out the door and bring it out in the middle of the driveway.
Okay.
A friend of mine when we were kids was, quote, building a robot, end quote, and he decided that it was ready to plug the robot in. At our house, of course.
Oh,
Yeah, that caused some problems.
dude.
We blew a fuse, and sparks go flying out of the wall, and the whole house goes power out.
Father Sayre said, "Put it on Craigslist fire sale." Good one.
See, he said, "I already did it. It's sparking."
Yeah.
Well,
it's the 4th of July, so it's perfectly normal. No, just kidding. That's no, don't. It's not. Yeah, stop.
Yeah, it's time to look for a used refurbished.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
That thing is dead as a doornail.
The entire house went black. Oh my God. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Man, you're screwed. That's all.
Use it for target practice.
Yeah.
I think you're pulling our legs.
I actually, because I need to get rid of some hard drives, I did use some hard drives for target practice once. And actually, I was probably 20 or more yards away, and a piece of the hard drive came back, hit me, and embedded itself in my nose. I had a little piece of metal in my nose for like a month.
Yeah,
what you doing, man? You snorting? What are you freaking?
And that is precisely why you wear safety glasses when you shoot.
You also, there are certain like real targets you're supposed to use for shooting. You don't just put anything out there.
Dude, we lived in Wyoming. You shoot at anything and everything. You go in the middle of the deserts in Wyoming, and there will be cars, washing machines, dryers, appliances, stuff, whatever.
Yep. That big tractor tire that's out there, that you are 10 yards away and feel like shooting at. Don't do that.
Yeah, shoot your eye out.
Grundle, you having a problem with the monitor? Okay, all right. It's plugged in and it won't come on. Okay, it could be several reasons. Okay, first of all, using Windows or Linux. I see that. Putting that aside, it could be does the computer turn on? You can hear it turn on. Okay, it could be a bad video card. It could be bad RAM causing it not to have anything. In other words, you get power on the monitor but no screen. It could be a bad RAM chip that might cause it. It could be a number of things. It could be a bad monitor too, but that's rare.
It could be.
Yeah.
Question: does he have his graphics card plugged in?
Window computer is on. Okay. Does the monitor power come on?
That's a good question. Does the monitor actually power up?
Yes.
The first thing, check all the cables. Make sure your card's plugged in. Make sure all the
monitor power, the light, the blue light, or whatever. Does light come on?
The colored light come on.
Well, the other thing too is depending on if he plugged it or unplugged it while the computer was running. Sometimes, and especially in Linux, sometimes it gets a hiccup where it doesn't want to.
The monitor power light does not come on. You have a bad monitor.
Yeah, if he's not getting
that's all there is to it.
Or double check the AC adapter.
No.
Or the AC, right.
No, hate to tell you, buddy, but your monitor's screwed.
That's what I think.
Yeah, well, I would check, rather than throwing it away, though, I'd check the AC adapter. If you have a voltmeter, you can actually test it by probing the voltmeter.
Do that too. Get a volt checker and
try that.
Put it on there. Yeah, Tom's got a good point. Oh God! He needed to plug it into the freaking.
It's one of those nights.
When I was in undergrad, I go in there for registration back when we still had to register. And the guy's getting in there. He's like the head of the biology department, right? So he's going over there, and he's just like, "Can't get this computer on." Whatever, trying all those other things. Yeah, it's not plugged in.
Oh man!
There used to be tech support funny stories back in the 90s.
Oh man!
Where someone would call tech support, and the lady would call tech support, and the lady says, "I'm having trouble with my cup holder." You know what the cup holder is?
Yeah. CD-ROM.
So the guy says, "Ma'am, listen, ma'am, thank you for calling. First of all, you need to shut the door." Hello? Then the guy's listening. "Ma'am, are you still there?" And he hears a house door shutting in the house. He shut the door. Don't know if that's true, but anyway, cup holder.
Oh man!
Isn't that what this thing is on the side of my laptop?
Sure, yeah. If it holds a cup,
I thought it was a cup holder.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who uses CDs anymore? You got to get some use out of the thing.
Well, I use them. I
still have a stack right over here that just in case.
Okay. You want to see a CD stack? Look at that. Thick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all burnable DVDs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about, talk about vintage Mac OS, Leopard.
Nice.
Yeah, that's from
Ben's Museum.
Yeah, Ben's Museum, indeed. Hold on. Here, this will blow your mind.
Yeah, I still keep CDs around because I do have a CD changer in my car. So occasionally I will burn a music.
Every once in a while, sure, yeah.
XP64-bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I have an OEM Windows 95.
Wow.
You too? Oh,
with the original book. I have the original. I have a 98 also, 95 and 98.
That's going way back, but what do we got here?
I still have some floppies around from the 90s. I still think I have floppies from the WordPerfect.
Those are pretty back memories from the 90s.
I think I still have some floppies with. Do you remember there's an old application called Quick Link to Message Center. I thought this was the coolest application in the world. It wasn't installed on my computer when I bought it, but I had the disk there, so I installed it, and it allowed me to use my computer as a phone, and it was the coolest thing in the world.
What do you guys remember this game? Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody remembers that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some old school shit right there.
Except that's newer than most of the video games I play.
Most of the games you play, yeah. Man, Tom, you must go way back.
I got stuff from the 90s laying around. That Star Trek game, Starfleet Command. I have it somewhere.
Yeah.
Do any of wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Need for Speed.
Do any of you remember the old whatchamacallit, the old Star Wars games from like way back in the DOS days, like the Dark Forces and that? Like, I guess not.
No,
I don't remember playing any Star Wars games in DOS.
No, it's from like the Windows 95 days, I think. Well, anyway, my uncle gave them to me, and I could never figure them out. So, let's see if Amazon finally decided to take my debit card.
The funny thing is the 3.5-inch floppies. There is actually a market for those now, especially. And I actually just got rid of a full box last year, and then I started realizing that they're selling, believe it or not, for $35.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've noticed some of this. Yeah. Especially for some of these vintage computers people are restoring. You know, they want some of these floppies and drives and stuff that, you know, are just hard to come by now. So,
well, it's the reason I couldn't figure out what they wanted them for. And then it's like, as you said, Derek, number one, like even the 3.5-inch drives themselves, apparently there's a guy buying them up like on eBay, and he has these music boards, you know, like that people with studios would use or whatever. They take those and he refurbishes them for those. But the other thing is a lot of times what people are doing with them is, you know, the plate that was on that would slide open when you put it in, and it would slide open, it would read the disc. You're able to put an SD in there.
Oh,
so you put an SD in there, and 95+% of the time it usually works where it'll read the SD. So if you have a 8 gig SD or 64 gig SD or whatever, now you just turn the floppy drive into the equivalent of like a flash drive is nowadays too.
So it takes a standard SD or a mini SD? Or?
Yeah, standard SD is what people were using. I haven't tried it myself, but I did see. I think if you look up on YouTube, I think there's videos on it, people doing it. But,
remember my son and I playing on the Xbox. Was it Star Wars Battlefront 2 or something like that?
I remember that.
Anyway, I remember the narrator when you went through the missions.
Yeah.
in Galactic, and it sounded like he had a cold. In Galactic Conquest, you must capture the pineapple from the evil, and that's what it sounded like, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember playing that game. Yeah.
You guys talking about CDs?
Yeah, what you got?
The only one I've got.
Oh wow!
Oh, Rush. Yeah.
Is part of this set. It's their R40, the last concert they did before they retired.
Yeah.
That's the only CD that I've got.
Oldie game.
What's the hey Tim? What's the last studio album they've done?
The last
Clockwork
Angels.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of that one. I think the last studio album I've bought music for a while, but I think the last studio album of theirs I bought was Vapor Trails.
Yeah.
Wow, that's been a while.
That's been a while. Yeah,
Vapor Trails was their first album after their hiatus, after Bert's daughter and wife died. And there was Vapor Trails, then there was Snakes and Arrows. Then there
I'll have to look for those. Rush has always been one of my favorite bands, and
he hinted. They did an interview with the lead singer. He hinted that one day they might, because they still have songs to record. It's just a matter of getting motivated for it. So
they're never. I think kind of the stuff I kind of stay up on music news, drummer news more than anything. And Neil Peart got remarried, and he has a daughter who's I think about 10 or about 10-ish right now. And when they got done with the R40 tour, he said that he will not be doing any large-scale tours. But he did not rule out the idea that they wouldn't do studio albums or possibly real small venues, like hit a Hard Rock Cafe or something like that.
Because the schedule's not as brutal. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to look into those. I just the brilliance of them. It was just this perfect balance of brilliance and talent, and because really Peart, who did most of their lyrics and content, was just a deep philosopher.
Yep.
In fact, I remember watching the documentaries. They would tour with guys like Kiss and stuff. They'd be like, "We can't figure these guys out. We want to go out and do all the drugs and stuff. These guys sit in the room and read books."
Yep.
It's like that's the band, because it's good to see that there's a band that can rock but doesn't have to get caught up in that same lifestyle.
The story goes, I guess the first 2 CDs didn't sell well.
The first album didn't sell well. Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay. Then they got picked up by a different company, and they said, okay, we'll give you guys another shot. But whatever you guys do not do a concept album. And guess what they did? They did a concept 2012, and then exploded. It just went through the roof. So
actually, I think that was their 3rd or 4th album, though, wasn't it? Their second album was Fly By Night.
I think so, yeah.
And then they did Caress of Steel.
Caress of Steel, and then 2112 after that.
That's the one that,
and actually one of the biggest things is don't do something long, because they just went a total risk. They didn't care. They basically showed their favorite finger to the producers, which is what every good musician needs to do.
They went from the heart.
Yeah. They said, well, if we're gonna go out, we're gonna go out doing it the way that we want to do it.
And they did it right, and the rest is history. They had a string of hits after that, Closer to the Heart, Tom Sawyer. I mean, the list goes on and on, But Fly By Night was actually a pretty good album. That wasn't bad for its time. Set 1975.
That was the first Rush album that I learned drum to.
Okay.
From beginning to end, both.
I liked By Tour and the Snow Dog, a long 8-minute anthem type, was pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow, did you hear the rumor mill? And I don't know if it's just a rumor mill or not, or wishful thinking, but even though they keep denying it, but for the 50th anniversary coming up, they're saying that Led Zeppelin may very well get together for a little comeback tour. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but they're saying even
I really wish
doing for marketing is leading that direction.
Who are they going to have play the Skins for him, Joe? Bonham's kid?
Jason Bonham, I think, if he does.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I once saw Jason Bonham on his tour with his band. He kicks some major butt there, man.
Yeah, he's a good. He's been drumming since he was a little kid, just like his dad. So
yeah, 3 years old.
I've not seen Led Zeppelin in concert. I never got into that band as much as I did Rush or Doobie Brothers, Boston, stuff like that.
I think it's
Boston. You're from New York.
I'm from New York. I tell you who I do like, Joe Satriani. He can play freaking guitar. You know Joey? Yeah.
He's good. He's got some
He's good. He's good. He had a classic CD. I think it's called Engines of Creation. That was futuristic, and it's still the rocks.
All right. What's the best favorite? Everybody who listens to Rush, favorite Rush song and why?
Spirit of the Radio. And it is because it just simply, Spirit of the Radio, this simply hits the heart of what the radio should be about. It's what music
I like
is
Closer
about.
to the Heart. So something about that. I don't know. There's something about that song I've always liked.
Now that I asked the question, I'm having a very hard time with it.
The best, the best drumming songs, Tom. The best drumming song. If you're a drummer, a lot of people can play like Tom Sawyer and stuff like that, and you get used to that, and you can play it in your sleep. But the drummers who can sit down and play La Via Strangiato,
that's good too.
It's 100% instrumental, but it is an awesome song.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with, and it's so hard because I think my favorite album overall is probably Signals. But I think my favorite song independently might be Scars or Red Tide. I'm not sure which.
What about Subdivisions? Subdivisions is a good song.
I love Subdivisions. There's something about that song that gives me weird memories, and I look back over, because I had a really bad, tumultuous early life. And anytime I listen to Signals and Grace Under Pressure, I am brought back to those weird times and come to find that they were the exact times, those albums were recorded and released the exact times I'm thinking of. So I'm wondering if they were played on the radio or something, and I've heard them and they're just embedded, but I don't have really memory of it. So I absolutely love both those two albums. But
I'd probably have to go with Moving Pictures, my favorite album.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good songs on that one, yeah.
There's something about several of the songs on Presto, Scars, the meanings behind that, and Red Tide, and the meaning behind that there's something that strikes me with those as well. So, yeah.
I heard Doobie Brothers might be back with a new one. I'm not sure.
Wow. Doobie Brothers are getting back.
Yeah.
After
most of them are still around, yeah.
After 40 years, I mean,
well, they came back about 7 years ago with an album.
So they've reunited since.
Yeah, they came back. Was it 7 years ago? I forget the name of the album. World Gone Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
I must have missed that. Yeah. So
yeah.
We were driving around last night, and I had XM radio on, and the Eagles are going to be touring kind of like smaller venues and stuff.
Yeah.
And I almost thought that when the guitarist who passed away here recently, Glenn Frey, I thought after he had passed away that they had said, nope, we're done. If we don't have the right people in the band, we're done. But apparently they're going to go out and do some touring.
Hello, EB. How are you? Your peppermint systems got borked?
Yes. We should get him in the hangout so we can get demonetized.
You weren't treating the systems nicely. You use foul language. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what happened.
Oh boy, that's not good.
Colonel Headers. Uh-oh.
Colonel Headers. Okay.
Interesting.
He was having problems with NVIDIA. Yeah.
I have wonderful pleasure in not pushing every single update as it comes down because I don't care.
Latest isn't always the greatest. I know. It just isn't. Yeah. Of course, the graphics drivers is a hit and miss no matter what. But yeah.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
I really think like AMD graphics cards maybe are the way to go right now in Linux. It seems like NVIDIA just gives everybody headaches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went with NVIDIA on my friend's laptop, and mostly because we were just looking for something with a dedicated graphics card for the types of things he wanted his for, and I'm not sure if there's dedicated AMD graphics card laptops out there. But we couldn't get Ubuntu Studio working on it, but Linux Mint went right onto it. So that's what we went with.
Well, I think that's when I was running Linux Mate before I ran Ubuntu Mate. And I think that's what I did too when I trashed the kernel. Was I kept bringing out the latest kernels, and I went to update some of the headers, and boom, that was it. It was the end of it.
Yeah, I just don't even touch the kernel. Once I get the thing working, I'm done.
You know what? I think that's all part of the learning process. You experiment, whatever, and then when you do something really painful, then you go, I tried that, but then do that again.
Or I experiment on the media PC I'm on right now because I change the operating system on this at least once a month anyway. So what's the big deal?
Yeah, the kernel is one of those programs too that I've never found the need to upgrade a kernel ever. Like I've never thought, boy, I really need this latest kernel. There's something in it I have to have. Unless you're buying like super new hardware that just came out, there's no need to be on that latest kernel. So
there you go. Word of advice.
Well, sorry to hear about that, EB. I know how that you'll figure it out, though, I'm sure.
EB, if you want to come join us, hang out with us, feel free. We're just shooting the breeze here, man.
Yeah, if you need a little hug. Oh, poor baby. Oh.
A virtual hug.
Virtual hug.
Speaking of hugs, is Derek going to be throwing that Ghost BSD at his machine here?
Hey, I want to. Sorry to be rude here, but he just said either way, or reach for Windows 10 USB key. Laughing.
Yeah.
So just reach for the nearest revolver. Then if you do that.
Yeah.
You know what? You may as well just open the window and throw the box right out.
Here's a fun reason to do backups. I went to my pfSense the other day as I was navigating what was going on with the internet. It's like, oh, there's an update. Yep, that update crashed my entire router.
Hey, I was gonna ask Tom. You're looking quite different tonight.
Yeah, I'm very, very different tonight. Yeah. I just don't have my camera plugged in. So. Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't keep cameras and microphones in computers. I manually do it. And they're on the other side of the room. I was working on stuff. So, so pfSense has this amazing little configuration file the thing exports that literally rebuilds your entire system. And it will do it automatically if it detects one anywhere on your system when you reinstall it. So I thought I was in for a long night of refixing my pfSense router. I throw in the boot drive. I have the configuration file in there. I boot the thing up in less than 5 minutes. My entire router was exactly as it was before I pushed update. And then guess what I'm not doing anymore? Update. So just a note to self, make backups.
I have an off-topic question. Does anybody here fish?
Yeah,
Fishing?
I do.
Okay. What's a weed line?
A who?
Weed line.
A weed line?
Yeah.
It's a type of fishing line that you use that can cut through the seaweed, like the.
Is that what it is?
It's like a lead. Well, it's like a leader that you use. You use fishing line, and then you can use a leader.
Okay. No, the reason why I asked,
it sounded like drug slang. I know why you asked it.
I'm gonna ask. Here we go, because I'm catching some odd news. A Florida fisherman was using a weed line, and as he was fishing, he reels in a package of marijuana.
Of course. That's where we're going with that
story. That's why, come on, a weed line, but I guess it's real, so there you go.
Mm-hmm. I had a friend who's a psychopathic fisherman, actually quite famous in Vermont for always reeling them in. So
now, the only thing is this dummy who posted it on the web, if he was trying to sell it, it's on the web. You think the cops are gonna say something? Hey, hey, a weed line. How appropriate. Let me see if anything else catches my eye here.
It's me. I got the stuff.
You gotta pick up some loads, man. Let me see what else is here. Weed line.
So why did we get demonetized this evening?
The troll that was here earlier, you missed him. He had some colorful comments to leave. Tossing me in the chat.
Yeah. He was getting like adultish. I mean, I liked his name, Führer Trub, made me laugh. But
this guy had like a dozen different accounts. He was posting stuff with.
Yeah.
He was posting derogatory stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
It was a spammer. He had a bunch of spam accounts, but instead of spamming like ads and stuff, he wanted to.
He finally got tired. I think once I mentioned Uncle Guido, I think he got scared. So.
Yeah. Oh God.
Uncle Guido.
Or he's missing a family member. I don't know.
Uncle Guido does do a good job of scaring people away, doesn't he?
Yeah. There you go. You know.
He brings out the Darth Vader and toss.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is family friendly, so I try to keep my insults, Catholic-like, as it were. I don't know, but
Catholic-like.
Yeah, Christian insults, if there is such a thing. Let's see. Or here's something that you don't. This Arizona man encounters snake on a windshield while driving.
Yeah.
Wow, that would scare the crap out of me. A snake on his windshield, and the snake almost looks like it's part of the wiper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have.
Maybe I shouldn't say this in front of Steve, but I'm going to anyway. EB, you're probably going to hate me for this, but I just spent about $500 on a Ryzen build. I don't know if he's going to like that, but he's probably going to be like, Ben, shut up. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Tux 1313 this asked EB, how's the 4th of July there in the UK?
Started early.
It's just like the 5th of July, the 6th of July.
Yeah,
well, it's not Independence Day there. It's Treason Day.
I think they're walking around going, "Oh shucks, we lost."
they walk around looking for Americans to beat up.
Oh God,
that is hilarious. It's about one of them days. That's the joke that I needed.
Yeah, really. I'll sit there and stay open.
Ben and his birthday.
It's like that old joke. Some people ask, when's the 4th of July this year? It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, you're right.
Steve, do you need a big hug for sure? You must really be in place because not only did you mention Windows, now you're talking Mac.
Wow.
Oh my God, I've never seen both those come out of you in one stream and ever.
He's not going to be happy gaming on a MacBook.
No.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Mac sucks.
Fire up that old truck simulator on Mac and let us know in a couple of days how you're doing there, EB.
Steve,
just go back to Peppermint Sun.
Yeah.
Steve, listen.
You go back on the
I know you love your Linux, you love your Windows. You're not gonna like Mac.
No way. Yeah.
No, Steve did the laughing.
He would be pulling his eyes out getting a Mac. I didn't want to say hair because he doesn't have hair.
Wait,
here's another.
What's this about hair?
Hair today, gone tomorrow. Yeah.
No 4th of July in England. What's it got? 3-5 or?
Tom and Ben still have hair. The other 4 of us are a little follically challenged.
Steve,
follically challenged.
Game on an X. You're not going to install Linux on an Xbox. You can install Linux on a Mac, but it won't really work that well.
I have another bit of odd news here. This is from New Providence, Rhode Island. If you have any people out of Rhode Island, it says building dispute leads to a mural of crowned mayor on a toilet.
What?
Huh?
Building dispute leads to a mural of a mayor on a toilet. Mayor.
What the?
So somebody painted a mural of a mayor sitting on the can?
Yeah, that's what I read. It was a building dispute. What, they had trouble building toilets? I don't know, but
they're saying the mayor crapped out on his campaign promise?
Yeah, he crapped, but yeah, right. In fact, let me click and read it. Now it's got my attention. I don't know. Give me a second here.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know, right? Because that's very strange news to say the least. A Rhode Island mayor, he's not bothered by an unflattering public mural of him wearing a crown and sitting on a toilet that stems from a dispute from a building he called unsafe. Something about health hazard. Okay, I guess it was all right. Some silly stuff going on. All right. He says he wasn't bothered. Okay.
What's his name, John?
Crap.
Yeah.
I go and install PinGuy OS today because I'm thinking, I haven't used it for a long time. It looks great.
Yeah.
The elementary beta is out.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're jumping right on that, aren't you? Switched.
Am I?
Yeah.
I want to see if they're improving it.
Are you?
I mean, I've been critical for very good reasons.
You have.
And honestly, the funny thing about the elementary group is they've managed to build an Apple-like operating system with an Apple-like fanboy base. It's like, it's the best in the world. And no, it's not. And I identify legitimate concerns with it. Let's see if they responded.
In my opinion, it's worse than Pear OS was. It's worse.
So here's just for inquiring minds. New features. Nightlight is now going to be a part of it. Desktop panel now adapts to the background wallpaper. Wow, I think that always happened.
Oh my god.
Animated system icon, indicator icons, improved power applet, new installer and initial setup tool, improved high DPI support. Notifications no longer show by default for many apps. New sound effects on notifications. Shortcut overlays appear when pressing Windows or Super key, and new permission model for apps using location. I may have to put that into a VM sometime over the next day or two.
The location permissions is interesting. I think the animated icon stuff is probably just getting it closer to look more like a Mac again. Mm-hmm. Like, have they not addressed the fact that people like to work on a desktop? And that's, for a lot of people, the biggest complaint. It's like, even on a Mac, I can work off the desktop if I want to.
Yeah, it does seem like that feature list that Tim just read is, none of that stuff really matters.
No.
Other than the high DPI support, that's great that they're doing work in that, but the rest of that stuff, that's kind of fluff. That's not really hard-hitting stuff.
Yeah, and the thing is about elementary is we run Linux because we want to have control over our computers. And if you attempt to do anything with elementary that wasn't in the development team's idea, the thing will just crap out on you. And that's the problem with it. Like, I managed to get stuff working off the desktop. I can get icons working on the desktop. I could get all that stuff working, but I still ran into a lot of problems.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when you read the list. The first thing that came to mind was like, big whoop. It's like there's nothing.
But I'm going to look at it. I'll look at it and give it a fair shake and see what's improved and what hasn't. I'd be curious if they improve the stability. If they improve the stability, I'd be fine with that. But to me, it was like a bipolar distro. They weren't sure who it was targeted to, and it showed. Because all the guys that were recommending it and saying it was good, I know they're all guys like Brian and Matt Hartley. They would, anytime they boot up a Linux distro, they're going to go right into a terminal, sudo apt upgrade. Well, that's what you had to do on elementary. You couldn't update it the first time from the GUI because it would crash. Yep. And it would never work right.
It kind of looks like, I'm just reading the article on OMG Ubuntu. And it looks like, other than the switch from 1604 to 1804, it looks like they're going after visual changes.
High support is, everybody's trying to get into that too and whatever, but it comes back to, like we were talking about earlier too. I had mentioned that Derek and I've said this before too, like for kids having a GNOME desktop or whatever. Well, elementary, that's pretty much, not the pun phrase, but it'd be good for elementary school kid level for that kind of stuff, for easy use for kids or whatever. But I don't know, Rocco's got a fascination with it. He really wants to try it. I'm afraid he's going to be sadly disappointed, but maybe not. I don't know. But you get so used to customizing stuff. How do you go backwards? Because that's what it feels like to me, is when you use a distro like that, you're going backwards.
Yeah.
But
I'm reading their blog post on Medium, And it says, I want to, I don't know who wrote this blog post, but it says, I want to reiterate that if you're not an app developer or a highly technical user, you should not download and run this pre-release image.
Mm-hmm.
It has known regressions and bugs. It is potentially dangerous.
Of course.
It is, yep, it is not for production environments.
Yeah.
While we do our best to make the update process smooth, you will likely not have as good of an experience updating from beta as installing the final release.
Yeah, I read that release announcement too. It sounds like like the software center is also not working in that beta. I mean, they really don't expect you to try to install anything extra in it. It really is just for testing purposes. It's not something you want to install and think you're going to live in. So it's just for people like us that want to check it out.
I would kind of expect more, I guess, because you know the betas that I install and I've tried, 1804 Ubuntu, a couple of different flavors, and they were all pretty darn good for beta releases that are stable. They work pretty much as advertised.
Yeah, the Ubuntu betas are almost like a release candidate. I mean, they're that good. I mean, they're
same with Mint too.
My thought is why even push it out then if it's that unstable? I mean, I get you want to get testing or opinions or whatever, but why push it? It sounds like that's really premature.
Or push it as an alpha.
Yeah, I would say
instead of calling it a beta, because beta gives it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beta says you're on third base, right?
Well, you know what? They are kind of behind schedule. I mean, 1804 came out 2 months ago?
Yeah, pretty close. 2.5 months ago.
Yeah, so they're really behind schedule compared to everybody else has already released their 1804 spins. I mean, we had Linux Lite come out just a couple weeks after 1804 released. Mint took a little while, but they finally got their stuff out.
Pop OS came out relatively quick after.
Was pretty quick about it, yeah.
At least all these other developers haven't taken that long.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Elementary's defense, for the length though, it's a much smaller team, and they have their entire desktop environment that they'll get working as well. So it makes sense it might take them a little bit longer because they are developing their desktop too.
You know what I'm looking forward to is seeing if they, you guys have all tried. I think you guys have tried Pop OS and the new installer that they have. And Elementary is supposed to be going along the same lines as the Pop OS installer.
That's
interesting.
So like becoming an OEM type installer. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, basically you go through
the installer program. Yeah, the installer program is being co-developed by the Pop OS teams and the Elementary team. They're working on an installer program together. Yeah,
nice. That's good.
Tom, you answer this. I had asked Derek earlier, and I got a little confused, and I was wrong. More I was thinking about it was who did Wimpy collab with? Was it Solus? That was my rethought afterwards. Didn't the Ubuntu Mate team collaborate with another distro team a few months ago?
I don't know.
Okay,
I think for some reason, Joe, I think I kind of remember that, and
I just kind of for the life of me, I want to say maybe it was Solus, but I couldn't remember, and I
think it was.
I
think it was.
Yeah, because I had misspoke. I said originally I thought it was, what was I talking about? Not Pop, but one of the other known ones, and that didn't make sense after thinking about it when it came out of my mouth. So
yeah, you were asking about the installer, the new installer in Elementary and Pop OS, and you were asking did the Ubuntu Mate guys work with those teams, and now they're still using the Ubiquity installer in Ubuntu Mate. So
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Are any of you guys running Chrome or Chromium on an 1804 base right now?
Chromium. Both.
Yeah, both Chromium and 1804.
Are you using that to join Hangouts tonight?
I am, yes.
Chrome. Yeah.
I have Opera.
Might be hardware specific to you, Tim. It might be.
I'm on Chromium, but I'm on Debian Stretch.
Yeah, it's got to be DT. It's
might be some the graphics driver or something that's.
I still think there's something goofy on Ubuntu 1804.
What else you got going on?
The same thing when I had 1804 on this Ubuntu vanilla 1804. What was it, like 2 months ago, Toss? That night that I was on, and this Chrome kept puking on me, and all the old, snap and unresponsive page and all that crap. And DT said, maybe if you tried Vivaldi. So I threw Vivaldi on.
Boom, it
worked.
Okay.
And that's what I had to do tonight. I jumped on, I had Chrome installed, got into Hangouts, and I wasn't in it for more than maybe 15 seconds. Boom, crapped out on me. So
wow.
I went and grabbed Vivaldi and installed it, and it's working great.
Cool.
So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see once a point release comes out if that helps solve any of this stuff.
I'm sure it will. Yeah. That's kind of the point of the point release.
Yeah.
They don't push that to the LTS users. Everybody that's still on 1604 hasn't been offered that update. They won't be offered an update to 1804 until 1804.1 because Ubuntu knows for an LTS, it's still not really ready until that first point release.
Yeah.
Well, just for the record, since we've been talking, I not only downloaded the beta elementary, I just opened it up in a VM and it's just sitting there. There's a big screen. It's got applications at the top and nothing else. It won't do anything.
Yeah, a lot of people are down. It took forever for me to download it earlier too. I also downloaded the PenGuy ISO that Kim was talking about. So I've got PenGuy and Elementary to check out sometime in the next couple of days.
It finally started doing, but it took like, it seemed like it took forever. I started, normally when you see it come up to the try screen and then it comes up.
And you would think they would offer a torrent download.
What's that?
You would think they would offer a torrent download too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's to me, this was something that should not have come out at first look here.
I think that's one of the challenges when you try and stay on a schedule is you end up with stuff that's not as good. That's probably why Linux Mint comes out better than most of the other ones is because it's not on a set schedule. And Debian, anything that comes out not on a set schedule generally has more stability because they're releasing it when it's ready, not when the calendar says you got to have it out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like Carmine's always said, you get, first impression, first time out, and you get somebody that wants to take a quick look at this and you may not see him back again.
Yeah.
Even the shutdown, it's like it's just taking forever to shut down.
Hey, Derek, didn't you take a look at Clover OS on your channel before?
no, I have not. People have asked about it, but yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, you should look at it, man. It's based on Gentoo, but it allows you to pick the GUI that you want, not the one that they give you.
Yeah. Isn't that the one that's like some guys over at 4chan created that particular Gentoo distro?
Let me see. Hold on, I'm typing a message. Let me go to Clover OS's page. Hold on.
Yeah, I've had a few people ask me about it. I might take a look.
I would love to see a video about that from you because it's one that I've followed for a little while. I just haven't gotten around to trying it yet. Because my vanilla Gentoo I told you about on your show earlier was laggy as heck, and I just finally said, okay, heck with this.
Yeah, it sounds like something just didn't go right.
In the install. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't want to go through all that manual crap all over again. It's just,
no, you don't want to spend hours compiling, realize you messed it up, and then have to do it all over again.
Yeah, that's because I have the GUI on there, all my programs. I just said, okay, I'm doing it. Right. Calling it a day and putting Ubuntu on.
Hey, DT.
Yeah, their last release of Clover OS was the 12th of last month. So they haven't updated their distro in a while, but here's the thing. It comes with it's Gentoo untouched. It's minimal as possible. No bloat and easy to use. It comes with Xorg, FVWM, OpenRC, DHCP CD, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't come with Pulse Audio, funnily enough. But,
well, I would probably install Pulse Audio. I love it. So
Yeah, it comes with the Infinality fonts on top of it, and it comes with binary packages out of the box.
yeah, well, that's good because you don't want to spend all day compiling. So I like having pre-built binaries.
It says no package politics. It says on top of it. Yeah, which is kind of weird, but yeah, it's an untouched Gen 2. All they did was all the configurations in the make.conf file, so, and the user's home directory. So basically, this a stock Gen 2 with pre-built installer, and all it is you download the GUI afterwards.
English Bob says he can call his new Windows channel the Windows Spy Guy.
Windows Spy Guy. I like it.
Oh, great. English Bob's going to have another YouTube channel.
He says, no, honestly, Windows 7 is installing
Windows
right
7
now.
is fine, sure. Yeah. I'm looking at Linux
Windows
jokes.
7 works. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do.
Here's a Linux joke, if they're any good. I think there is a duck in my router. It always goes nat, nat, nat. But boom. Let's see, what else do we have here?
One thing, Toss. Look at this. I'm not drinking soda tonight. It's water.
Very good. Excellent.
I'm trying to cut back on my soda habits.
Very good. Let's see
Here's
here.
the thing. I have been drinking like maybe 2 to 4 Mountain Dew bottles a day.
Wow.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Man.
Not good, man. You're better off taking some
I've had
man.
2 to 4 sodas this year so far.
Wow. You're doing better than I am, Tom.
Yeah, I gave up sugar.
I'm starting
10,
to
12 years ago as far as sugary drinks. Yeah, I have like a soda once, maybe twice a year.
Man, you're doing a heck of a lot better than either me or Tom.
What kind of doctor fixes broken websites? A URL-ologist, urologist. Clever. Okay, I'll give him 1 point for that. Okay. Urologist.
Oh my gosh. This is only one.
Does a Roman doctor refer to an IV as 4?
4, right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
There you go. Let's see here. What else?
At least I joined in enough time to get to the corny part of the show.
Yeah, right.
Already.
That's
kind of.
Oh, here's good. This is like an insult. Go, hey man, go apt-get a brain.
Yeah. Get a brain.
Oxymoron is Microsoft Works.
Microsoft Works. I like it.
It does. Actually, it does. It's the privacy stuff I don't care for. But Ubuntu is an ancient African word that means I can't configure Debian. Yes.
Oh yeah, that joke's been around forever. Ubuntu is only for those people that couldn't get Debian installed.
Guy to girl, go make me a sandwich. Girl says, no way. Sudo, go make me a sandwich. She says, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see.
Tux1313 says, I'll tell you a DNS joke, but be advised it could take up to 24 hours for everyone to get it.
Oh, good one. Good one. Good one.
Get it.
Let's see here. My friend found this. Login is yes. Password, don't have one. Password is incorrect. Login, yes. Password is incorrect. All right.
What's the biggest lie in the entire universe?
Oh no.
Microsoft.
I've read and agreed to the terms and conditions.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's what I saw. This in somebody's Ubuntu forum. The box said you need Windows XP or better, so I installed Linux.
Yeah.
Ubuntu is an ancient African word which means destroy Windows.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
What should you do after your Nintendo game ends in a tie? Ask for a rematch.
That's for what?
Ask for a Wii match.
We little wascally wabbit.
See, these are pretty clean jokes. You know, you're gonna get monetized.
Yeah, this is better than usual. Yeah.
How does a computer get drunk? It takes screenshots. Oh boy. And you know how I got this joke? You know how I Googled stupid computer jokes.
Cool.
Stupid. I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna Google a Hackintosh joke. Just for fun.
Let's see here.
Hackintosh joke. I'm not finding nothing. Hey. Oh God, there's nothing. I got one.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I just looked up Apple jokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Steve Jobs, you have to give him credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
But I just found one. Steve Jobs' funeral will be held next week, after which he will be refurbished or reburied every 6 months in a slightly better coffin.
Oh, jeez. That's
pretty sensitive there, the Apple nuts.
This is Linux land. In silent nights, you can hear the Windows machines rebooting. Oh, God. Macs are for those who don't want to know why their computer. Macs are for those who don't want to know why their computer works. Linux is for those who want to know why their computer works.
Mm-hmm.
Windows is for those who don't want to know why their computer doesn't work. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. Steve Jobs won't get into heaven. He can't get past gates.
Clever.
Oh no.
Clever.
Oh boy.
That was
those are some good ones.
Unix is user friendly. It is not ignorant friendly and idiot friendly. Okay. Oh, demonetized, but that's okay.
It happens.
Yeah. Let's see.
Have we talked about food yet tonight?
We did early. We mentioned bratwurst and sausage earlier.
You know what? Bratwurst and Vegemite.
Would probably be all right. Yeah.
That would probably be good. Derek, quick, go make a bratwurst and Vegemite sandwich so we go and watch you puke.
Well, I was telling everybody earlier, I used all my Vegemite.
What did you plant?
No, I had to hot tar a roof, so I used the Vegemite.
There you go.
Patched a hole around the chimney, did you?
Plug that leak. Yep.
Oh,
is that stuff made by the same people?
Well,
you know that tape that you can put on like a gaping hole in a bucket?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
You know that guy that cuts the boat in half? Puts it back together with the tape and goes across the water? They gotta have something to do with Vegemite.
Yeah.
You know what? I just saw the commercial. He cut a hole in the bottom of the boat and used that Flex Seal tape to put a window in the bottom of the boat, and then he got put into a shark pond, and the sharks were going around the boat but leaving him alone.
A shark pond?
Yep, Vegemite. Put Vegemite on the bottom of the boat. Vegemite can double as a shark repellent.
And sharks may love it. You never know.
True. With my luck, they would.
Yeah, salt, especially salty taste. Yeah. I just loaded up Linux Mint 19 Mate edition. I miss my Mate menu. I want my Mate back.
Oh, great. Derek English Bob this threw up another food challenge. He said, Marmite is fun. If you want a real challenge, buy a jar of Piccalilli. It's made with real English mustard. Socks off.
If you want a disgusting food challenge, go for some Scrapple.
Some who?
Scrapple. This is a Pennsylvania dish, okay? And it's
Isn't Scrapple the stuff you get out of the cooler at the convenience store?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes. Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. There are a few layers to this. Scrapple is the stuff that is not high enough quality to go into the sausages and the hot dogs.
Oh, yeah.
That's not saying.
And then there's actually a worse item that cannot even go into the Scrapple, and that's called pudding, which is basically just gelatinized meat mush.
It actually looks like meatloaf in the pictures. That doesn't look bad.
So Scrapple, it's a Pennsylvania, it's like central and eastish Pennsylvania thing. So I never encountered it until I was at a friend's house, about 5 years ago or so, and it's over there, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have Scrapple," and I've never had it. Like, it doesn't sound appetizing. I've heard what it is, and I don't know. But their kids were like, "Oh, awesome Scrapple!" They're all excited. So I'm thinking the kids like it. It should be a big deal. This is the foulest thing I've ever put in my mouth, and mind you, I've eaten raw insects, live raw insects. Okay, Scrapple is so disgusting. I gagged. And then I left promptly after. I went a mile down the road to the convenience store to buy me some donuts. It was the grossest stuff I've ever put in my mouth.
Father Sayer says Scrapple is parts and parts is parts.
Precisely.
Boy, I don't even want to think about that.
I don't know. The pictures I'm seeing on
I may not fall asleep good tonight, man.
The pictures I see on Google make it look delicious.
They are lying.
Let's see.
It's bad.
I think what Tom's trying to say is, you know what, you can probably make a turd look delicious, but it doesn't mean you want to eat it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Horace in the chat is asking me, since I'm a Southerner, I should do a chitlin challenge. I've had chitlins. They're not bad if they're. They are pig intestines. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Same thing with eating liver. Beef liver. Why would you effectively want to eat the oil filter out of the animal?
Yeah.
Well, it would be better than Rocky Mountain oysters.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Which I was taking a trip with a bus of Chinese folk across the country, right? Except I had a car out west, and a friend is like, "Hey, we're taking a whole group of Chinese people for a Chinese trip out west. We can drop you off at your car." Said, "Sure, we're going to the state. I'll get from where you're going down to the car." So we go across country with this group of Chinese guys. We stop in the Tetons, and we're at the little fancy restaurant there, the Tetons, and these guys are going to order stuff like, "Oh, oysters," and all the Rocky Mountain oysters. And I said, "Do you know what that is?" And I was elected to tell them, like, "What is that?" It's not oysters. No. Woo.
How was it?
Oh, what's that? Oh, they decided not to order it when they found out what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember years ago there was a fishing supply fishing store in Florida. It had a unique name, Master Bait.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
2 words. Yeah.
That's
clever.
Terrible.
Bearable, yeah. Let's see here. Another tech joke. Windows is true multitasking. It can boot up and crash at the same time.
Holy, it's after midnight. Oh, God.
Let's see. Anything else to wrap this up? Because, it's 1:00 a.m. I'm ready for bed, I believe.
It's getting late, Toss.
I know.
Yeah, I got an early morning, too, so I got to jump in either way.
I wonder if
I don't have to get up in the morning, but I'm going to wrap this up here in a minute or so.
I don't have to, but I'm choosing to.
I wonder if when Steve Jobs died, if his life quick timed before his face. Oh boy.
Let's see here. What's the difference between a Windows PC and a trampoline? You can take your boots off to jump on a trampoline.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't get that one.
I don't get it either. Yeah. Let me see here. What did Linux say to the Windows partition? Go FSCK yourself.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Knew we had to get one of the FSCK jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that was coming.
Yeah. Clever.
Yeah.
Very.
Let's see here.
English Bob has Windows 10 downloading.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Well, that's great. I get to see EB try it before I try it.
You can join DT. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought he said he was doing 7. I thought I saw earlier he had Windows 7 on it.
Yeah, he was going to do Windows 7. Yeah, that's what he was installing.
That man just can't make up his mind. No offense.
He'll be back on Calculate Linux in a week.
He's like me, can't make up his freaking mind.
These are Linux terminal jokes. If I get this. Cat, food in cans, cat, semicolon, can't open food in cans.
Hey, Steve. At least I'm nice to you.
Let's see here. I don't get these. Make love, make.
Oh, they're command line. They're shell commands. The cat command. Yeah.
Oh, is that okay? All right. Now I get it. Okay. All right. Nice man, woman, no manual entry for woman.
Hey, did you ever see that there's like a crude hand-drawn joke image where it shows three cartoon characters sitting at computers. One shows Linux. Oh, more free stuff, or cool, or more free stuff. The next one is Windows. The guy's got a mad face on. Not again. The other one is Mac. It says, "Ooh, only $99."
I kind of like this one. This is a Linux command. Mount. FSSCK, 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 unmount, sleep. That's okay. I guess that'll work. Yeah, that's all right. That's probably the best one of the night.
All right.
Oh man.
Did you ever see the other one? Remember the two guys that did the commercial? One says, "I'm a Mac, I'm a PC."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got, "I'm a Mac, I'm a PC," and then they show another window screen, and the two guys are looking at them because there's. And I'm Linux, and then it shows the Mac and the PC. Got the Linux guy in the ground. One of them was beating him with his fist down. Oh Lord! Some of those memes are just they're out.
Yeah,
they're out of this world.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, and this is to stop everybody from smacking at Steve. Windows XP, Office 2010, and Office 2003 Pro. There you go, Steve.
Nice museum.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that means you can have 3 open cans of pop on your table.
Yeah, right.
Underneath of it.
Exactly.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I think I have Office 90. No, yeah, I have Office 95 still.
Yeah.
And I think Office 2. Let's see. I think I have Office XP. Which version was that? I forget. And then I have 2007.
Yeah, it looks like EB plans on doing a live stream later on his new Windows 7 install. Very cool.
I'll be there, Steve. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Just so I'm there, I'm going to stay up all night to hang out with him. just because, he's being so nice to help me later. I am going to stay up and make sure I don't miss it.
What's that noise in the background?
Oh,
you hear that?
Someone's dog is going off. It sounds like.
Sounds like it's coming from Switch to Linux.
Yeah, it might be my chair.
I was just going to say, Carmine with his rubber in his chair.
Yeah. Holy shoot! Plus, it's 1 a.m. and I'm not fully tired yet. So, yeah.
One of these nights I'll have to do
hang out all night.
One-liner jokes. There's a whole bunch. It's like I asked God for a bike, but I know God doesn't work that way, so I stole a bike and asked for forgiveness.
Well, you like it. You
like that one?
Well,
it's a good one.
Do you know how much weight an evangelist has with God?
Hey,
one Billy Graham.
You should We should have a special Ben's birthday hangout stream.
We live in a society where pizza gets to your house before the police.
God,
yeah.
Hey Tom, you know the difference. You know what the difference between a Baptist and a Catholic is?
Oh, there's a lot, but what do you got in mind?
Baptists will say hi to you at the liquor store.
I've heard that one before.
Politicians and diapers have one thing in common. They should both be changed regularly and for the same reason.
I've seen that before, but the punchline was they're always on your butt and they're usually full of crap.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, at the rate on, we'll be here all night cracking up.
This one's actually clever. My mother never saw the irony in calling me son of a bitch.
Oh,
that's true. Evening news is where they begin with good evening and then proceed to tell you why it isn't.
Have a good one, Steve. Catch you later, buddy.
All right. If you think nobody cares if you're alive, try missing a couple of payments.
Yep.
If four out of 5 people suffer from diarrhea, does it mean that one enjoys it?
That makes
oh God. It does make you think, doesn't it? Oh boy. It's the last person that's suffering, so he enjoys it. It makes sense.
oh crap. Well, that's yeah. Well,
Never. Here's
I'm about to get walked in on. I'll see you later.
all right, Ben. Take care, buddy.
We'll see you, Ben.
Guys.
Never under any circumstances take a sleeping pill and a laxative on the same night.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
You found some good ones now, that's for sure.
A computer beat me at chess, but it was no match for me at kickboxing.
Look at Toss. He looks like he's gonna have a fit.
That was making me. I'm thinking of Bruce Lee. Oh yeah, what you? Or Jackie Chan. Wow, you know.
Why are PCs like air conditioners? They stop working properly if you open the windows.
Right.
You know what's gonna happen?
What?
Like 300 years from now, somebody's gonna dig into the side of a mountain and find Google servers, and they're gonna find this video, and they're gonna think, "What the hell are these clowns all about?"
Yeah.
It's not going to take 100 years from now. People are watching it right now, wondering what's going on.
What the hell's up with these guys?
A clear conscience is usually the sign of a bad memory.
Oh boy.
These are good ones. He who smiles in a crisis has found someone to blame.
Yeah.
True. Let's see here. Why why do Americans choose from just 2 people to run for president and 50 for Miss America? Really?
Yeah. What's the difference between a virus and Windows? Viruses very rarely fail.
When in doubt, mumble.
Yeah.
I used to be indecisive. Now I'm not so sure. That's clever. I like that one. Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus loves you, but everyone else thinks you're an a-hole. Oh, God. The nostalgia isn't what it used to be. But
Yeah.
Let's see here. This is from a Hallmark card. I'm so miserable without you. It's almost like you're here.
That's a Hallmark card.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh,
Whoever coined the phrase "quiet as a mouse" has never stepped on one. I don't suffer from insanity. I enjoy every minute of it. Let's see here. Let's see. By the time a man realizes that his father was right, he has a son who thinks he's wrong. Okay.
Mm.
Why do they lock gas station bathrooms? Are they afraid someone will clean them?
Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
As I envisioned the jerk with the key and the big.
I know.
The hubcap attached to the key.
Yeah.
I like this one. Keep that dream alive. Hit the snooze button.
Yeah.
Why did Noah swat those 2 mosquitoes?
What?
Why did Noah swat those 2 mosquitoes? Get it?
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. All right. I want to make sure.
Why didn't he?
Why did he? Yeah.
Why did he? Right. Yeah. Dogs have masters. Cats have staff. I like that one.
That's about it.
I've seen that on a shirt, on a sweatshirt
Okay.
before.
When you choke a Smurf, what color does it turn?
What do you call? Oh, this is probably the most family friendly joke.
Yeah.
What do you call a Smurf with his pants down? A blue moon.
Oh boy.
That's one you can tell your grandkids, folks.
Only in America do banks leave both doors open and then chain the pens to the counters.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, one more, and I guess we'll wrap it up. Let's see here. Trying to pick a good one. What if there were no hypothetical questions? Clever. I like it. I like it.
That diarrhea one that's killed me.
That one's classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a snippet on that one tomorrow, I bet.
I may post that tomorrow. Yeah, it's a short one. Yeah. What is the most important thing to learn in chemistry? Never lick the spoon.
Yeah, I can tell you stories about that.
Doesn't that
I
fall
bet.
into the category never eat the yellow snow?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Life is like a bird. Life's like a bird. It's pretty cute until it craps on your head.
Right.
Let's see here. Insanity is hereditary. You get it from your kids. If Walmart is lowering prices every day, why isn't anything in the store free yet? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, floor.
Lord.
Boy.
Let's see here.
Did you hear about the semicolon that broke the law?
No.
He was given 2 consecutive sentences. Are we just all really tired tonight? Because we're really getting a laugh out of these corny jokes.
Well, some of these are clever. They
are clever. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think I need to jump off here, so I will catch you guys later.
All right.
See you, Tom.
Yep. Actually, we won't see him. He's been
I guess you won't. So
All right.
Well, you'll see me. We'll see me later when I turn the camera back on for the next video. So,
okay.
Right, have a good one.
All right. See you, Tom.
Take care, Tom.
Yep.
Constipated people don't give a crap.
What's the difference between ignorance and apathy? I don't know and I don't care.
Oh, God.
I pretend to work as long as they pretend to pay me. You have two choices in life. You can stay single and be miserable, or you get married and wish you were dead.
This one's good. This one's really good.
Okay.
Never criticize someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. That way, when you criticize them, they won't be able to hear you from that far away. Plus, you'll have their shoes. Oh man, how much more goofier can you get?
I would kill for a Nobel Peace Prize. Let's see here. It was love at first sight. Then I took a second look. Okay.
Tonight I dreamt of a beautiful walk on a sandy beach. That explains the footprints I found in the cat litter box.
Kind of like I went to bed last night and I dreamed that I was eating a giant marshmallow, and I woke up this morning and my pillow was gone.
Should crematoriums give discounts for burn victims? Oh God!
I think wasn't that one of George? I think it was George Carlin. Didn't he have a bunch of those?
Yeah,
those question ones, like why do you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have the last one. Squirrels, nature's speed bumps.
It is weird how they never go the right direction. They always come at the car.
I was going to say, or Derek's dinner.
Yeah. If I get to them before the car, but after the car hits them, they're not good. Yeah.
That is true. And you go to swerve, and they always still turn in the direction you go.
It's weird because they start running the right way, and the closer you get, it's like they turn and start coming back at you.
Yeah.
Here's one for the people. Here's one last one for me for the people that are trying to diet. 250 pounds here on Earth is 94.5 pounds on Mercury. No, I'm not fat. I'm just not on the right planet.
Yeah, right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, definitely have a safe holiday tomorrow if you celebrate that kind of a holiday. So be safe, be cool. Literally, it's going to be another heat wave. So I'm not sure where I'll be tomorrow, but probably somewhere cool. And we'll do it again. The next live stream looks like Friday. I may do something tomorrow night late again. Who knows? If not, I won't be on Thursday night, but Friday night, 9 p.m., social media and cyberbullying, a serious topic that I think the time has come to chat about. That topic is by request, so we'll go into that. That can turn out to be a long, long topic, but I'll try to get to the point, to help anyone who might need help or ask questions about that. So it's serious. So that's Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. New York time, and we'll see how it works out. So that's all I have for tonight.
All right. Well, it was fun, guys.
Absolutely. And I feel great now because I know I can sleep in.
Sorry I was late tonight, but
that's
thanks for the invite anyways.
Yeah, this was fun. It's always nice to end on a happier note. And no, I don't plan on taking a laxative and a sleeping pill.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
You could be that one person out of 5 that really enjoys it, though.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now watch some guy watching. Hey, let me try that and see what happens.
Oh no.
Yes,
no.
give us a report if you would. Yes.
No pictures.
No picture. Yes, no pictures. No.
Live stream it.
No. God knows if he did, he'd get 12 million views and he'd retire next week.
Joe Johnson says not fat, horizontally challenged.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not
All right.
out of shape. Round is
I'm
a
ending
shape.
the broadcast. Bye in the chat. Bye.